Welcome back to Mama's Garage Podcast. Today I am joined by my second guest ever. Would you like to introduce yourself?
Kadie Dodson.
I didn't think your middle name was Irene.
Really?
That is
It's a family
ancient. Oh, family name? That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a fucking family name.
Okay.
Thank you.
My bad.
You want to thank Kelly Irene Dodson? You want to thank,
Lemuel Irene Dodson? For those who don't know, that's her dad's name. Lemuel.
Lane.
All right, well, Kadie, thank you for doing this. This is very fun. Is this your first time doing a podcast?
This is my first time doing a podcast. I meant to do it for Mr. Smith's speech class
Oh,
as an
yeah.
extra credit assignment, but then I was like, I have better things to do.
Shout out Mr. Smith. This is, on the record, this is probably like my 5.5 time doing this. I did 2 when I was in high school as a senior. Serenity Fry, shout out Serenity Fry, with birthing my podcast love. And then I did my own just the other day and post that. You can check that out. It's called The Pilot. It's the first episode. And then I did the one just recently with my mother. You can check that one out as well.
Freaking love that woman.
Ah, she's great. My
She's
favorite.
so amazing.
Mm-hmm. And now it's my third. And then Max and I, my brother Max, for those who don't know, we were testing the waters when I first got my equipment. So we've done a couple others, but I just until you get to hear your own voice in your head, it's phenomenal. It's so fun.
It is truly amazing.
I love it so much. So on the topic of beginning podcasts as a senior in high school, you currently are a senior in high school, but in my opinion, you don't act that way. And I was also told the same thing.
Thank you.
And so it's a good mature factor that you carry, but you also have never acted the way how old you are.
Yeah, people at Greeks are like, how old are you? I don't like that question, especially if it's like a 80-year-old man.
Right, yeah, especially because as a woman, that's a much more of an alarming question. But I get giddy as hell, and people are like, "How old are you?" It's like, you're not gonna fucking believe.
Yeah, you told me about that story when you were at Greeks and this group of ladies. It's like, how old are you? They did the guessing game.
Oh yes. Oh, you said group of ladies like they were much older. They were all in their mid-20s.
Gals.
Long story short, they were my only table on a Sunday night, and so I just was chatting them the hell up, and we were trying to play like a hangman game or whatever, but they were like, this is lame. Let's just try to guess facts about our waiter guy, and I was like, oh, okay, we can do that. And inside it was just a parade going on, and I was like, yes, because I love attention.
Really?
But then they all guessed my age, which was the only thing they were like really worried about. And I'm like 6'2" in shoes, have a beard. I've had a beard for a long time.
6'2" in shoes.
Yep, that's what I always say. How tall are you? 6'2" in shoes. So if I'm barefoot, you can subtract, I don't know, a sole.
A shoe.
Yeah.
You don't have a soul anymore.
No, all 2 soles, all gone. But no, these girls. Do you remember off the top of your head how young they thought I was? Like no, I'm sorry. What the youngest age they guessed? There were 3 ages because 2 of them had the same guess out of the 4 of them.
26 was the youngest?
26 was the youngest.
Okay.
And then, you know what the oldest one was?
29.
29. Ding.
I pay attention to
Yeah,
detail,
no
bud.
kidding.
And while I was absolutely scarfing down that steak and shake, I was paying attention.
Oh, I just told you that the other day. That's right. Yeah, that was... what a glorious day that was.
That was a wonderful evening.
Mm-hmm. And for those who don't know me personally, I'm only 19 years old, and this happened, I know the exact date. This happened October 27th, 2024, on a Sunday. It was a big weekend. The 2 days before, I did stand-up for the first time, and then 2 days, it was like, oh, great weekend. It was on a Friday night. I finally started doing it, and then God was like, hey, it's going pretty well, right? It's like, I agree. He's like, well, check this out. I'm going to get rid of everyone in the lobby. We're going to send in 4 of my angels. Yeah, it was good. But no, yeah, I've always looked and I've always tried to act older than I am. And you have that same quality. That's very good.
It's because I'm an only child. I'm going to be honest. It was just me, Kelly, and Wayne, and a couple basset hounds.
Yeah. It's like your part canine.
Yeah. And a couple chickens.
Yeah.
There's a good couple photos of me feeding this rooster named Chuck Cheetos.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. He was a very sweet rooster.
I almost thought that was like cannibalism at once because you weren't giving them chicken fries because that's what my brain thought, where it's like just recycling the meat. Oh God. Well, you want
This
to tell,
was your brother.
or it could have been like one of the chicks that they hatched. Like it could have been that would have been terrible. Don't feed chicken. It's ethically unreasonable. Although
Epically? You mean ethically?
that's I meant to say ethically, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna call your ass out on that.
Epically funny on paper, not good in real life. You want to tell the audience how like you demonstrated like with your physical comedy and at work once, because Kate and I used to work at Greeks together, the pizza shop. You demonstrated what you no not that. Tell the listeners what you just did, then I will tell you what I'm trying to get you to do.
So I'll do this thing where when Luke's walking away, I turn my body, face my face at him, but I do this point with 2 fingers. Oh, I also kick my foot back.
Yeah, it's like a
three point
it's
look.
It's like if you went to the Olympics and the girl who did the breakdancing thing, and then Usain Bolt, they like megazorded together and they like made this weird, cool like little Fortnite
like pizza,
emote.
Little.
Yeah, it's haunting. It's not fun, but yeah.
Haunting.
Well, it makes me uneasy because it's not right. But no,
It's just really fucking weird.
Yeah, it's just. But it's fun to do back to you. It's very fun. No, I was gonna ask you to tell the people the way you were sitting in your mother's womb during.
Oh. I was a very complicated baby, and I was a breech, and so you know how babies like they face towards like the stomach of the mother,
Right?
like
yes.
back to the audience,
Right, because you're supposed to come like
and upside down.
Yeah,
that's how you're supposed to pop out.
Mm-hmm. You're supposed to be looking at the ceiling, and
At the ceiling.
That's right. You're looking up, or you're looking towards the floor when you come out.
Floor. I'm
Okay.
pretty sure.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
because they're like the head. I can see the head.
Yeah, right. I know it's head first, and then if you're not, if you see some toes pop out, you're like, well, back it up. What reverse?
Going back in.
What reverse, Jerry? Another day. We'll reschedule.
What reverse? Yeah. I was sitting, like if you were driving a car. I was driving my mom. I was just sitting there.
It's like you used her pelvic bones as like a bench.
I was actually sitting on her bladder.
Yeah, like how a kangaroo holds its babies in its pouch.
Yeah.
But if the pouch had like, church chairs, you just pick the shit.
Sorry.
My mixer went red for a second. You went.
Yeah.
It's fine. You
Yeah,
didn't break it. They still work. We're still clear audio.
Yeah, I've dropped these things and they still work.
Yeah.
Not these exact ones.
No, I know. Yeah, I would have been a little.
Sorry.
Well, if there's carpet
Sorry,
in here.
Kenneth Belt.
Yes. Shout out Kenny B.
I have the internship at Bell. I
Yes.
go over and I teach beginning band.
Oh, we have similar stories.
Mm-hmm. This is a part of my school day.
Yes.
He got this like Christmas stuff or whatever from the school, like give it out to the teachers, and they had these like little squishy things.
Kenny B is our band director, by the way. That's why he's relevant. Kate and I both have a background in. She does way more music than I ever did, but we both did drum line together.
That too.
We will, but I just for context, they all need to know who Kenny B is.
Kenny B,
Ken
that
Belt,
guy,
Mr. Belt.
Oh, he gave me these little. He had these little squishy things, like you know how people would like set them on their car and they would melt all over the dash.
Oh yes.
There were 2 of them. He's like, "What are these?" And I'm like, "They're little squishy things. They're cute." He's like, "Merry Christmas." I was like, "Thank you, Ken." He also has a Stanley now.
Like a cup?
A Stanley. Like, it's blue, and it's like the old Stanley like material.
You're talking about the mugs, right?
I'm talking about like Stanley. You know how the Stanleys, like the things, the tumbler cup.
Okay, tumbler is the key
Yeah.
word. You just kept saying the guy's name over and over again. Stanley. We go way back.
You've met him before. I brought him around.
Probably so. No, it's like a industrial polar pop.
But he was like, "I got it so that I drink more water." I was like, so you're not going to Starbucks? He's like, no, I'm going after this. I was like, good for you.
So he's same amount of Starbucks more. So he's just pissing more often.
I guess.
He's
I
just
don't
using
know.
up his kidney life.
He's trying to replace the water, or trying to replace the Starbucks with the water.
Hmm. Didn't he used to just eat green bell peppers during lunch?
I'm pretty sure, yeah. And like carrots and stuff. He
Yeah,
just sits at his desk like a
yeah,
little
his
buddy.
office would always smell like vegetables.
And
Like he would just put he had a microwave in his office, and he'd just like throw a frozen like a vegetable medley, just be like 3 minutes.
the Easter Bunny stopped by.
Yeah, and then then it would like steam roll out and just like
And
never.
the entire music hall
Yeah.
smells like food.
Uh-huh.
I hate it when Brian uses his toaster because he, excuse me, always. I'm sorry, I keep
I wish you had
burping.
said oven because he's a Jew.
His toaster oven.
His toaster oven.
He always burns stuff, and it makes the entire music hall smell like burnt toast.
Damn.
For multiple periods.
Brian's also one of the directors. He does a lot of stuff. I don't know what his total title is now because I'm not even in school anymore.
So he is the theater. He's the drama club sponsor.
Yep.
He's the thespian sponsor.
Damn.
We're doing Clue this year.
Ooh.
I'm gonna try out for it, I think.
Cool.
I don't know. Depends on what my schedule does.
I'll get tickets.
And then he does all the choir stuff, and he's actually working at the other schools now too.
Oh, like elementary schools or the middle schools and stuff?
Bell and Wooden.
Oh, wow, dude.
He's just like helping
Busy
out.
man. I love that guy. He's great. He's very funny. And I didn't call him a Jew to be funny. I called him a Jew because it's fact. And it happened to be funny.
I called him a Jew because it's hateful. I want him to be hurt by that.
I was on damage control, and you were like, nah, dude.
No, man.
I call him a Jew because he
sucks.
Yeah. To be hateful. That's not even like. You don't have to censor a single word of that sentence, but it's so mean.
Good.
I knew
I'm
this
just
podcast episode
Brian
would
and-
feel like this. Anti-Semitism and giggles. You bring up a Jew, you bring up any sort of toaster or toaster oven-esque instrument. I make Holocaust joke. Then I try to apologize for it, and then no, you suplex my idea of apology with your hateful little speech. Ah, so good.
So much damage and so little words.
But we can talk about Bell. Bell's one of the middle schools.
It's actually the intermediate school, dipshit.
It didn't.
I'm sorry. That was just plain mean.
Oh, fuck the Jews, but I'm sorry for being rude.
Hell no.
Well, it's if any of the Luke Franklins that I know now are somehow tuning in. Did I not tell you about all the Luke Franklins I know?
No.
Oh
I don't
my
know about.
God!
I thought there was only one.
All right, we're gonna do a tangent off this Bell tangent, and we'll come back. Okay.
Okay.
All right. I've not been public about this, but I have told a few people. So, just this past Friday, my mom and I were eating Chipotle, and I mentioned earlier that I just started doing stand-up comedy. My mom told one of her coworkers about it. A guy named Ryan Reno, I think. And Ryan.
Reno. That spells Reno.
That's right.
That's from one of the Muppet movies. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're stemming right now.
Oh my gosh, Sammy.
I'm muting your mic. No, this Ryan guy he heard my mom say this, was like, oh, I also do stand-up comedy. And my mom was taken aback by this. She was like, we need to find videos of Ryan Reno doing stand-up somewhere. I was like, fine, I'll look him up on Instagram. Look up his name, and there's just a bunch of Ryan Renos. So I was looking through, and I was like, that's a lot of guys with the same name. I was like, Luke Franklin, have a pretty white name. I think it's widely used everywhere else. So I looked up my name and then followed
Luke is getting more popular. I know some younger kids who have that name.
Really?
I think you're the oldest Luke I've ever met, though, or heard of.
Well, you know it's from the Bible, right?
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so you're saying it's making a comeback.
I guess, yeah.
It's like the mullet.
I guess. Oh, good.
Oh, yeah. Well, anyway, I followed
know.
all these
Depends.
Luke Franklins. And so what I've done now is I've assembled a group chat of everyone their name is Luke Franklin. And so I was inspired to do this because I saw Ryan Reno's name pop up a bunch.
Mm-hmm.
But there's also this 21 Pilots lyric from the song Forest. And it's part of the pre-chorus. It says, does it bother anyone else that someone else has your name? And I was like, it doesn't really bother me. It more intrigues me. And so then I did some investigation. And so long story short, I talked to a lot of these guys individually. It was like, yo, cool name, dog. They're like, right back at you. We're all white, so we can say stuff like that.
Right back
there's
at
not
ya.
there's not a single even any outlier on that graph. We are all white guys. And so I put us all in this group chat. It's like 9 of us now. And so I've talked to 2 different Luke Franklins from Europe. And then I've told everyone, I was like, hey, we can't really use... I told you that's allowed. You're totally allowed to burp on the podcast. It's encouraged.
I didn't mean
Interrupt
to
me,
be
please.
In the middle of the mic.
No,
Anyway,
it's fine.
Continue.
No, I'll put a dude wipe on. It'll be okay. I told we need to all go by code names in the group chat. That way there's no hey Luke, and then just everyone's starts typing. That would be chaos.
Yeah.
I'm patient zero because everyone was like, dude, thank you for coordinating all this. But I was like, we need to use code names. So I was like, let's use our middle name and then our state or country of origin. So I'm Andrew, Indiana. There's a guy named Hunter, Colorado. But there's 2 different Josephs. So that means there's a Luke Joseph Franklin in Texas, and there's a Luke Joseph Franklin in Oxford, in Europe. And they only know each other because of me. And so it gives me power. Oh, I don't know if
What
that
was
registered.
that?
I felt that more than I heard that because it came out of my body.
Uh-huh.
But it was a burp from near my belly button region that snaked up through my nose holes.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah.
That's powerful.
Why? I don't know why. My brain definitely wanted to talk about that. I have no idea how I got on the topic of talking about all my Luke
I don't remember what we
Franklins.
were talking about before.
Well,
but
I
it's
said
okay.
something about Bell Intermediate Academy,
Mm.
and then I was like, oh, by the way, I have a group chat. Oh, I don't know, whatever. The group chat will be an ever-evolving thing. The plan is to get on a Zoom call one day with all the Lukes. And then maybe I can have a few of them on the podcast because I can
That would be cool.
call them in,
Uh-huh.
and it'd be good. It'd be a good time. That'd be fun.
Luke Franklin podcast.
And
The
so,
special guest Luke Franklin and Luke Franklin.
you know what I named the group chat? It's kind of dumb, but I was like, I'd like you to meet Luke Franklin. that's what I named it. And everyone's so nice. No one's been like, this is a stupid fucking idea. Everyone's like, this is so cool. Thank you for I'm like, cost me $0, bro.
Yeah.
All it did was
I've never met another Kadie before with a D. Kadie.
Yeah, well, your
Never.
name is very, very common, but only phonetically.
Yeah.
And so the spelling is where people can gather the uniqueness.
Mhm.
I've dated a Kadie. You're spelled Kaydi.
Huh.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that spelling before.
Mhm.
But people like, whenever a teacher reads off your name or whatever, I've gotten Kadie.
Yeah. Straight out of Mean Girls.
Are you like Kadie? Are you fucking? Who would name their kid Kadie?
Like a fucking
Like
a golf like
a golf caddy.
yeah, Caddyshack. That's clearly spelled Caddy.
Yeah,
Dumbasses.
I know. And then or like I'll tell my name. Oh, my name's Kadie. So with a C or a K? K. With a T? No. No, actually, they don't even ask if it's a T anymore. They just assume.
Well, anyone who says, "What's up, KT?"
Yeah. Well, there's a difference between Kadie and Kadie.
Sure. If I bet you wrote it differently on like the whiteboard in your brain just now. Those sounded
It's
exactly the
actually a
same to me.
chalkboard.
Whatever. I have a whiteboard right up here.
I saw. And my
Mhm.
name's up there.
Yep, you're on the
And
list
you
of.
spelled it right.
Well, I know you, so.
One. I try and pull something, or like if one of my friends are writing my name, like you spelled that wrong. They're like, no, I fucking did it. I'm like, yes, you did.
You're just a gaslighter.
I know you. Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
You can't spell my name wrong, but I just
Yeah.
knew that my name was so common.
L-U-C-E.
Yeah, or like Look. Yo.
Loose. Anyway.
Like I have a it's a pretty foolproof name, but it's also like just plain enough. Because Luke Franklin. Luke is from the Bible. Franklin is from the dollar bills. So, am I wrong? I might not be entirely correct, but I'm not wrong.
It's just a funny way to Luke from the Bible, Franklin from the money.
Yeah.
I was thinking like Franklin the turtle.
Yeah, I was about to say, like
There's
Luke from the First Testament, and then Franklin from fucking PBS. Hell yeah.
Franklin the turtle.
All right, well, we have plenty of things to get to on that notebook. I've done enough.
Mm-hmm.
I told you before we started doing the podcast, we both agree that we might just be narcissists with how much we enjoy speaking, but also how much we enjoy speaking and hearing it come back to our brains.
Yeah. It's cool because, like, I talk and I move the mic and it doesn't sound good until it gets, like, right here.
I know. It's right in the sweet
but
spot.
But if I talk like this, like, it doesn't.
No, it would still be like you can hear it, but it's much more clear.
That's like if we were, like, took off the headphones and we're just talking.
Yeah.
This is podcast.
Yes, exactly. We're locked in. We have like that invisible like tin foil cap train on where it's like I don't know, you see the conspiracy guys.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Antennas. Metal brains. So let's talk about our experiences teaching the youth at these middle schools.
Teaching the youth at the middle schools. So I have wanted to be a teacher for a while. I actually started kind of like teaching and conducting and doing stuff in the 7th grade. No, not 7th, 8th grade.
Whoa.
Actually, no, it was kind of 7th grade.
That's a natural born leader right there.
I like that comment.
Yeah.
Thank you, bud. Anyway, I'm sorry.
And you're modest. you got all quiet. You're like, I hate the Jews. And then you're like,
fuck those guys.
And you're like, thank you for the compliment.
Thank
That's
you.
just a funny duality. Continue.
Yeah, I started conducting in kind of like 7th grade, and then 8th grade I was kind of given like you are loud and you take charge. You do this now.
Yes.
Okay. And then, of course, when I got to high school, I was like, I'm going to be a music teacher. And so now this past school year, I've had an internship for the last half of the day. After lunch, I just leave.
That's cool.
And I go to either Bell or Wooden. And I teach 6th grade band and then 7th and 8th grade orchestra. The orchestra is like kind of intermediate and a little above higher intermediate and lower intermediate.
Mm-hmm.
But it's giving me a good idea of what actually being in the classroom and educating
right.
is like.
I feel like that's so important especially for like a job like that where it's like you need some on-site training first
before you spend all your money at college.
Exactly.
Because there's so many times where like people just go to school and they haven't like actually, like I know many people, multiple close people who have gone to college they're going to college for music ed, but they haven't had a leadership position in that environment. And I'm like, you can't do that.
No, dude.
It's a completely different game, like from written down in paper to actually doing it.
Yeah, and plus it's gonna change a lot by the time you do it as well. So you gotta you gotta do it as you go, which is why I remember being in band and everything. We'd have like people from IU come through, and they would they were usually they're awesome because they get through the School of Jacobs and stuff. But I'm like, that's good that I don't know if all career paths offer like. I mean, of course, most career paths probably have internships. Like, I'm not a college guy. But
unless you're like, I feel like I also have had a greater opportunity to go into teaching positions like this, like doing the internship, going with my teachers who I still learn from.
Yeah.
And teaching with them, because we're such like we're a small school, and the music hall is very close together.
Yes.
Like somebody in Chicago, they're not gonna have this like same opportunities to find these little teaching positions. So I understand like just going into school, but
it's a much bigger. It's just a city. It's like one of the cities in America. Yeah, for sure. Well, if I were able to redo my version of what you're doing, we're only 2 grades apart. Because you're going to graduate this year, 2025. I graduated in 2023. Now my senior year, my third. Have you been doing this internship like all year? I think. Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
And then of course I've also taught at like orchestra camps in the summer, and I was teaching at the backstage stuff at the theater camp this past year.
Yes.
And I did it last year too.
Because one thing about Kadie, she is a jack of all trades.
I actually won an award for that.
Oh.
It was jack of all trades.
Like
Wait, did I?
Like a
Yes.
playing card?
No, I think it was maybe my first Drammys.
Oh.
Or maybe the second, I don't know.
I was going through our friend Alexa's text thread the other day trying to find a picture or something, and I stumbled upon a conversation we had where my senior year I was nominated for best pit musician for the Grammys, and then I didn't go to the ceremony.
I remember that.
And then she was like, "You should come," and I was like, "I don't really want to come." She's like, "You should come." And then she's like, "Hey, you won the award," and I knew the whole time. Take a dumbass hint, dude.
That's the thing about last year, because I was the president of drama club last year, and I was in charge of getting all of the stuff in and seeing who won and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't a surprise to me.
Yeah.
I was like, eh.
You're like, well, I mean, who else?
Like, oh, the winner is me.
Yeah.
Who could have guessed?
Yeah, it was like when I watched the Oscars whenever Oppenheimer was on.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, they're gonna basically clean sweep this. It's like, of course, yep.
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought? Clear cards.
I was watching the Barbie movie the other day, just a little bit. I was watching it in between a match of Fortnite or playing Fortnite. I played Fortnite for the first time the other day.
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
I got
okay?
4th place.
4th?
Yeah.
Out of how many?
There's I think it starts with 100 people in the game.
That's really good.
I killed
think.
3 people. I think I got that high because I was hiding in a bush most of the time.
I was about to say you're probably really good at hide and seek.
I guess, yeah.
That's rather good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the Barbie movie, I've watched that. You know, Barbenheimer took the nation by storm.
I never watched Oppenheimer, but I did go to the theaters to see Barbie with Brooke.
Barbie's good. I did enjoy Barbie. Oppenheimer was it was a much different movie.
Yes.
Which is why the duality of those going together just made the most sense for market wise.
Mm-hmm.
They were also in the theaters. Those both came out in the summer. They're just big old blockbusters. Mm. We lived through Barbenheimer. We can tell our children about that. But then they were in the theaters till the fall, I think. But yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry. I looked on the page and we were on the topic of kids that I was teaching. I had something written down about Greeks.
Oh, yes.
It was a subtopic under Greeks.
I've had the same thing happen to me before, so you go on ahead.
There's this one kid. He's like a tuba player, I think. So sweet. He's just like the coolest little dude.
That's usually low brass guys are like reckless, like they're sticky toddler kind of people.
Oh no, he's just like chill.
That's cool.
Not even like chill. He's just like, I don't know. Like, you seem cool, but you're a 6th grader. But
it's like the seed is planted for like a much more well-rounded
you're
adult.
You're gonna be a fun dude.
Yeah.
Like, I'm probably gonna tech for you one day, and that's gonna be fun
for sure. Shout out Brent. I had a kid like that.
Anyway, he came into Greeks with his grandpa while I was hosting or serving or whatever, and he turns to me, he goes, "I know you from somewhere." I'm like, "Yeah, you do. Where?" It took him, like, he was actually genuinely thinking. I'm like,
oh, I thought he was doing a bit.
I teach you. No, he was not doing a bit. He was just like, "I think I know you." Yeah, you do. I teach you. Are you in band? Yes, I am in fucking band.
You're like, it's like you.
I saw you like a week ago.
It's like you pan to him pondering. You pan to you doing like a one-man band thing, playing like a violin and a kick drum and like fucking
have a drill.
Yeah, yeah. He's like, art class is like, no. B-A-N-D.
Man.
Well, kudos to you, because when I was it 6th grade? Right? Like, like how old is this kid? Like,
oh yeah, he's in 6th grade.
Yeah, I was 11 the whole time. And when I was 11, it just was, I was so in my shell. So if I saw someone who I was like, who is that? There's no way I would have verbalized that. So you make them feel comfortable enough to be like, you know what? I'm going to investigate in real time. Hey,
who are you?
Hey, you with the familiar face.
You with the long hair.
Yeah, yeah.
And cartoon yellow Converse.
Yes. It's a character trait.
It is.
Once those wore out, you got to get new ones, just like it.
That's my third pair.
Whoa, of yellow ones?
Yes.
That's crazy.
I wore my last pair out in 6 months.
Whoa.
Last Christmas, I got one of those pair. I had to get those I got those before school started this year.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah.
Burning through. It's all you wear, I guess.
It's my main shoe. Mm-hmm. Most of my like when I go out, I'm like, oh, I could wear these with my yellow shoes, if anything else.
Damn, yeah. It's
This-
like
that's-
this flintlock wood spray on shoes.
I need to get those.
Banana Converse.
They're not fucking banana colored.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I will die on this hill.
Well, then what color would you describe
people are like, oh, you could just wear the mustard ones. No, they're not mustard. They're
Sunshine?
yeah.
Is that good?
Yeah.
Good? Like that?
Yeah, I like lunch sunshine.
Okay. All right, we'll be right back.
Katie's having a fucking stroke. We gotta go take her to the hospital.
Yeah. Well, I have a similar story about. I'll use the Brent kid that I know because I know Brent. Yeah, that's such a name. It's such
For like a young kid, that's crazy.
I know.
Like
Well,
I'm trying to think of
it's
like
not
my
you
mama looking at my dad and going, Lemuel Wayne.
Yeah, I know you can name a baby, but you gotta name that person though. Like, I don't know. I have no idea what the pressure is like to name a
Like
child.
I'm gonna look at this baby and name him Gary.
Yeah. Damn.
I have an Uncle Gary.
There's a guy named Gary lives just on the hill over there.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Gary Dean.
And Gary White.
We don't like Gary White?
Gary White's fine.
Okay. I don't know who this man is. But Brent is a good guy. He has an older brother that I also know.
You know what grade he's in?
Brent would be in 7th grade now.
Oh.
He has longer hair. Cool little kid. I wouldn't call him little kid. If someone called me little kid when I was 12, I would have like
beat the shit out of him.
Yeah,
I would have gone out of my shell and rocked his ass.
I would have borrowed one of their fingers forever. I just don't like that, to be belittled like that. No, but Brent, he was, when I was teaching, let me just give my little backstory. You are doing it the way I wish I had, which you're doing an internship. You're getting high school credit, and you're basically, getting on-site experience.
It's labeled as career exploration.
Okay, that's good. Well, I only taught at the middle schools as almost like a favor, because you and I did drumline for 2 years together. But I think it was
we didn't do the marching season. We didn't do To the Moon together. We were in marching band together. I didn't play battery. Ring, I played battery.
Yes.
And then you were gone.
That's right. Well,
we never marched like percussion together, because I was in guard.
Right.
I was in guard my first year.
We never marched percussion together during the fall.
Yeah.
But we were on the same snare line
for
winter, my senior year. That was
such a fun show.
Farewell tour. Yeah. Well, I did 10 total seasons of drumline from the ages of, I was still 12 when I first joined, and I was nearly 18 whenever I left that joint. So safe to say, I was pretty much, the oven had been going off for 2 years. You had to take me out of there, right? I was just done, overbaked. Let me get some more liquid death in me before I lubricate my voice.
Gotta get that too.
Did you hear that? Sorry, that was just a little bit of ASMR to put a little doorstep and everything.
This is actually an ASMR podcast now.
Oh God, not the can, not the
tingles.
No. But they asked me to, once I graduated, they were like, you should come back and be a drum tech for the thing you just got done doing for half a decade. And I was like, I'm flattered. I feel like I would do good here, but I had plenty of other reasons why I wanted to not do that. I tried quitting my senior year in drumline.
I remember that. I think I remember walking by the office as you were getting the talk.
Yeah, well, I started the talk, and then with Kenny B and another man named Mr. Powell.
JP, I love that guy sometimes.
JP. You say I love that guy sometimes?
Yeah.
That's a good way to talk about it. Ups and downs.
I love him when he acts like my mom. It's kind of funny when he acts like my mom.
Yeah,
but...
we'll bring JP and Kelly back in a minute.
But
That'll
when
be
he
our
gives
next.
40-minute talks, and I
Yeah.
just have to stand there with my drum on.
Probably good for podcasts if you were like at a time you're like, I gotta get a guest
He
in.
would be an amazing guest for a podcast, Luke.
I would just be like, hey, here's both microphones. I'm gonna go take a shit, and then I'm gonna go take another shit, and then we'll have you do the other
I'm
half
gonna
of your
eat
story
dinner,
after
take a
that.
shit, eat dessert, take a shit, and then I'll see where you are.
I'll take a shit. I'll go to Ohio, run some errands, go see a concert, come back,
He's still going strong in
pat
the
your
middle
forehead.
of it. All of it.
He's on the 97th topic.
Like us.
Yeah.
We keep. Yeah.
I'm not even gonna check the time for a while. We're probably like, I would do it right now. I just saw him at the camera
I
there.
think we're at like.
35 minutes. I nailed it.
Damn.
That was simple subtraction. So anyway, so yeah, I tried quitting, and I was talking to JP and Kenny B in the office, the one that smells like vegetables. And they were like,
neat.
they basically said, hey, we respect you for coming in and trying to stand your ground, but no fucking way in hell you're doing that. It was basically what the conversation went on. Where we talked a long time. I was in there.
If you hadn't done that winter season, Powell would have had a snare line of all women. It would have been me, Amelia, Madison, and I mean he doesn't let it down now. But if it was pure like,
We would have.
3 women.
Oh, power.
Ooh.
Yeah, dude. It was that season. It was.
And we're all like new.
Oh, new.
New Mountain Dew.
Sorry. At least a do isn't like it was about time we got in the spotlight. No. So yeah, I
get that though.
against my will, I took the leadership role as drum captain my senior year, and so I do regret not giving that my all because I feel like I could have done a lot better.
You made it fun though. I gotta be honest, that was a fun season.
Well, I appreciate that because there's a lot of the Rizzler face. I did that quite a lot. It's really, Rizzler face goes great with audio podcasts.
I have a very good photo.
All right.
Of that.
You can show me, and we can leave it out of because I want to edit that in.
It's
later.
gonna take a little bit of finding. So.
Well, I'll tell my part of the story, and then you'll find it.
Hopefully.
But I did not want to continue. I wanted free time. I wanted to get started, like being an adult.
Here's one of them.
Oh, I remember that day.
Me too.
And 0.5. It's good. I had mascara on. Oh yeah, the professionally shot one. You can figure this out on my Instagram.
Hell yeah.
On one of my Instagrams. My old dumb one.
I wonder how I forgot that you lifted me up.
Yeah, that was like I did that 100 times probably throughout the show.
Poor guys.
Yeah, that was there was a lot of if those who are not familiar, winter drumline is kind of where traditional drumline and just drumline meets ballet, and it's performed inside gymnasiums.
I always was like it's like marching band, but in a winter guard show put together. That's my perspective.
Yes, but you have much more background in winter guard. But it's all like derived from ballet, though, right? It has to be.
All dances, kind of. Yeah.
Okay, cool. It's kind of how jazz is kind of the parent function to most other genres we have today.
Oh, I think this is the one I'm thinking of. I don't know how I have this photo because I don't think I took that.
I wore that jacket today to work.
Oh.
It's a good jacket.
Oh, and here's the video of you doing it. I have way too many photos of you doing the Rizzler face.
I mean, that's the reaction I would get from that was what got me through my last winter season.
Oh, here's a picture of Wayner.
Who's Wayner?
My dad.
Oh, that's his middle name, right? Wayne.
Yeah, but it was like a thing that his buddies were like Wayner.
That's funny because it's close to Wiener. Fun fact: Kadie and I have both of our fathers have the same middle name, Wayne.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I'll get my dad on the podcast eventually.
Randy.
Oh, Randall.
Oh, never mind. Keep going.
Okay, yeah.
It's something.
Oh, yeah, I gotta wrap this shit up anyway. So yeah, I drum line, did drum captain and everything, and then once I was over, I was like, I got to the finish line, and I did it with, I guess you can call it class. I did it with I didn't want to, but I still did.
Throw your sticks down and cuss out her band directors.
Yeah, I didn't. I just kept it all, and I would bitch about it all the time at home to my mom.
Because that was also the season where Powell gave that like mean 40-minute talk where he was calling people out about our attitudes. It was a Friday practice.
Oh, which have been abolished now, haven't they?
Yes, we were like, he was asking us, he was like, what do you guys want to change about this season? First thing I said, no Friday practices.
That's good.
Because we had done the music pep rally.
Yes.
So everybody was kind of like running from band.
No,
I ran from
I
orchestra
hated that one.
to, I don't think I was in pep band that year. Orchestra to drumline to orchestra again, and then I think I did something else. And then we had that practice for, it was supposed to be like, I think a 3 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
And we were just fucking done. Like, usually I understand, like, if we have bad attitudes, that's on us.
Yeah, but like, dude,
that
like,
was fucking
right, because well, they were paying the techs to come in from like 3 to 5, and it's not worth their time to, if we don't get started till like 3:30. So I understand their juxtaposition where it's like these kids are, we just worked fucking a 7.5 hour long school day, which
of
we
just music, and after so long you get tired.
Yeah, it's like, hey, maybe I should have some.
It's like doing a competition all day.
Yes,
performing multiple times.
And the worst part was that we would do the pep rally where we'd be in the gymnasium, we'd pull the fucking tarp out, do our show, then roll the fucking tarp back up, stow it away for everything else to happen, and then the bell would ring, people would file the fuck out of the gymnasium, then we'd bring the fucking tarp back out and then do it again. I'm like, oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
And
this
then
is the same nightmare.
And then we had to
never.
And then we had to come back Saturday morning too.
Yeah.
It would suck. And so and then all our techs would get pissed at us.
But it's also like, you did this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just, God, it just sucked. And so, but here's the thing. It felt different when I was in 8th grade, because I did drumline as early as I could have. Mountain Dew burps.
That was a bad one.
No, I can't. You're too far away. I can't even smell it. We're good.
But
I mean, I remember we were just grinding out rehearsals when it was my first year. I was an 8th grader. The show was called Another Dime of the Jukebox.
I remember watching those videos, and I remember pointing out Luke Franklin on the bass drums.
I was on bass 5.
Mm-hmm.
I was a 6'2", 13-year-old on bass 5. Chubby cheeks, glasses,
also,
braces.
I remember watching you. I didn't see Dime in the Jukebox until later.
Mm-hmm.
But I also remember watching you in Roll With It too.
Oh,
because it was community night.
Oh, yes.
And
was this
the
before?
JV guard. This is before Lily took over the JV guard.
Oh, yes.
Because we all had a community night together, which was strange, because we always had a separate community
night.
night.
I did like that, though, because it got everyone in one place.
Yeah, it was really cool, because I saw drumline for the first time, and seeing the varsity guard was also really cool.
Oh, yeah. I love the show nights. Those are always fun.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, it's basically where we get friends and family up from the community. We all just file into the gymnasium once again and just basically do the show we have prepared for everybody. Sometimes we do it twice, and then it would be like, that's where they give out awards and stuff. It's kind of like a banquet kind of a thing. It's really fun. It's just like, it's kind of a kind of private secret thing.
I remember Ring when we were waiting, because Paul was talking for fucking ever.
Yes.
I love that guy, but when he gets a microphone in front of a large audience, he takes all of his sweet time, just like what we're doing.
Right, but this is what it's designed for.
Yes. And we were all standing there, just posed, and in the corner of my ear, I hear Jackson Rouser shit his pants.
Oh, dude. It
was fucking. It was like he totally shit his pants, but I heard him fart, and I look over, and he goes.
Just side-eyed the shit at you. That's good.
I was like, and I did hear you.
He's packing some heat back there too. Like,
what do you mean by that?
I mean, like, he has some fucking, like, his ass is disproportionate to the rest of his body. I think.
Yes.
As far as I remember.
Yes.
Jackson Rouser's one of our other drumline boys.
Yeah.
And
it's my boyfriend.
That's
actually.
right.
It's weird.
You call him by his government name. Jackson Rouser.
Well, everybody
shit his pants at community night.
Jackson Pat Rouser.
Patrick. Oh.
It's a family name.
Jackson
Patrick
Irene Rouser.
Lemuel Irene, Jackson Irene, Lemuel Rouser.
Lemuel Irene isn't a bad name phonetically.
Lemuel Irene. I guess it kind of rolls off the tongue.
Yeah, if you didn't associate Lemuel with dad, a little different.
Dad.
But Powell's on the mic though. Just like
Yeah,
because
he
whenever
was
he
just
would
talking. Nobody else heard. It was just me and him. Like I looked over and he was like, "Did you hear that?" I'm like, "Yes." He's like,
Oh.
"I fucking heard that."
yeah, I probably felt it.
I have a dog named Bubba. He's a little terrier. He has no
Bubba.
hair, barely.
Oh wow.
Well, it's just very, very short, especially on his butt. We have laminate flooring. So, he's the gassiest little thing.
Oh.
He will walk into my room. I have my fan on. It's just a stand-up fan, like an office fan.
Mhm.
Fart in front of the fan and walk away.
That's strategic.
But
whoa, that's like a trick shot.
One Christmas dinner, we were in the middle of praying. Right before my dad was about to say amen. All you hear is
Just perfectly timed.
Just beautiful. In the middle of a silence.
Oh god.
It squeaks off the floor.
This is a funny ass dog, dude.
You should meet him. He's great.
Bubba. That's hilarious.
That's the name he came with.
Oh,
we adopted him. Well, not adopted.
Default name?
Yeah, it's his default name.
It's like a default gamer tag. You're like, I can roll with that. It's cool.
Beatrice, my lab, she was Olympia.
Beatrice is a cool name. I like that a lot.
I came up with it, thank you.
Very good.
I was like, Beatrice is her name. And
Well,
then
it just feels-
Marigold,
it just
that
feels kinda-
dumbass.
it feels
Fucking
like-
hate her.
Royal? What's her name?
Marigold.
Oh, Marigold?
Yeah.
That sounds like a Girl Scout cookie.
Well, my parents have this thing where their bassets have always been named after flowers. Like we had Daisy.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Sorry.
They also had Lily, and they also had this one named Cletus.
Cletus? Was
Yeah.
it born in the Dust Bowl? What the fuck? Cletus. That name sounds like it's black and white.
His nickname was Quee.
Quee? There's not even a W in the first origin name. Quee. That's like an onomatopoeia. What's the dog's favorite noise to make?
Quee.
Quee.
We were in the middle of prayer and goes Quee. Anyway, like, we'll just be talking about the dogs. Because Cletus has passed away for a while now.
Ah, damn.
R.I.P. Quee.
R.I.P. Quee.
And we'll just be like, "Oh, Quee, look at that photo." It's just a funny little like Daisy May, Quee, Cecil. We had a basset hound named Cecil.
These basset hounds.
And I have a cat named Poon.
That's fucking hilarious.
Like Poontang.
No, yeah, I gotta put all the pieces together. Yeah, that's fantastic.
We had cats.
Poon.
And my mom, his name was Bardicus. He was this big old black cat. He was a thick cat. He killed squirrels like on the daily.
Damn.
He was a chipmunk like wood shredder. Like he would see it would be gone.
What was his name?
Bardicus.
That's a Greek god.
He was a part of the Pussykiss clan.
Bardicus. It sounds like a STD.
Yes, Pussykiss.
I don't have HPV, but I did come back with a mild case of
Bardicus
on my left ass cheek. It sounds like barnacles.
It was the Pussykiss clan because we had Bardicus, Pussykiss, Tiny Pussykiss, and Harry Pussykiss. Thanks, Mom.
What a Three Stooges type fucking thing. That's insane.
Kelly came up with that stuff.
That's hilarious.
Yes.
Kelly's hilarious.
She is.
That's awesome. Fuck. That just sounds like the Three Stooges. It's like Harry.
I have a photo of my
Harry,
mom
Tiny,
sent
and Bardicus?
Bart.
Bart. Okay.
But it was Bardicus, and then it was Bardicus Pussykiss.
Damn.
My mom sent me a photo because she was taking photos when Martin Sheen Band was taking photos, and it's a photo of Caleb Jackson and Brody. And she goes, "Look, it's the Three Stooges," because I think Brody and Caleb had just shaved their heads. It's a good photo too, but it's also taken on her Android phone, so it's like
it's just
2 pixels.
yeah. The general color of the picture, the average
I mean, you
color.
can tell it's marching band because it's red. That's
Yeah.
only. I also have a good photo
A
of
lot of
Brody as a
inside
whoopee
baseball
cushion.
talk. A lot of name drops. It's like, oh, we all know who Caleb, Brody, and Jackson are.
Brody totaled his car. That's what I meant to say.
Brody
has had his license for a month.
totaled his car.
Totaled his car in front of Taco Bell.
Which is where Jackson works.
Yeah. Actually, Caleb drove by and so did Parker.
Wow.
Yeah, and neither of them stopped to help him.
You're like, he's going to have a story to tell us tomorrow, won't he? Damn, poor Brody. Was the Brody a sophomore?
Yeah.
Damn.
He is.
He was
because he can't go to prom with us this year.
Tough.
Oh, look at this photo of him.
Brode. That's
Bro.
good. Just to make sure that no one is like holding. Oh, that's a recruitment photo. Jesus. For those listening, it was a photo of him like he had just got drafted.
All of their eyes are closed.
Yep. Oh yeah, bro. A buzz cut's the way to go during marching band, though, man. You'd have no idea what that feels
Jackson was gonna get a buzz cut too.
Yeah, well, he has like a. What does he have now? It's like
actually
Fabio
recently-
hair. It's like how Uncle Jesse and had it, and it's all the same length, but all pushed back.
Well, he actually recently got a haircut. He cut it on the sides a little closer, but he was gonna get a buzz cut. I was like, "Don't you fucking dare!"
I'm gonna get a buzz cut later tonight. It sounds like it's like a drink, like a mixed drink. It's like I'll get a buzz cut on the rocks.
Well, they were doing the drawing of the. This is a Greek story. I'm sorry, this is random.
That's fine. We know about Greeks.
I had my aunt, Gary's wife. She came in to Greeks.
Does that not make Gary your uncle? Or you just calling back to Gary from earlier?
Gary is my aunt's husband.
Okay. So no relation.
My aunt is related to my dad.
I got you. So without marriage or without their being
Gary
together.
is married in.
I got you. Okay. I have plenty of uncles like that. Shout out Doug.
I just call him Uncle Gary. Or just Gary. I don't talk to him much.
I never call him on the phone anyway.
I was at Greeks and they were doing the drawing, and it was the night they got the jackpot. Everybody was in the bar. I go to get a Moscow Mule for that table, and Richard's just fucking off doing something.
Yeah. Wait, a drawing like
from the town jackpot.
Oh, really? From like from the Legion?
Yeah.
The
Somebody
Legend?
won it.
Oh shit.
Yeah, it was like up to like
$320,000.
I think so.
They're getting the fuck out of here, aren't they?
Well, it was a guy, I think, who already had a bunch of money.
Oh, fuck off! It's a fixed thing then.
Yeah. But
that's ridiculous.
I just had to like sit there next to Richard, like, hey man, what you doing? I wasn't gonna like, hey, make me this drink, please. Mm-hmm. So I just sat there and watched. I didn't want to be an ass. I love Richard so much.
Yeah.
He's so cool. I have such great conversations with him and Cody.
Eventually, I will be able to have more than one guest on at a time. Because if we had to share microphones, that would suck. Mm-hmm. Or if we had to, the audio quality would be bad. But we get some OG Greek people on and just like share stories. Just like that'd be so fun. Let's get another recliner in here to do that. But we could fill some space talking about that shit.
Richard, just cuddle up to Richard on your bed.
That'd be fine. Yeah. Richard will he will talk.
Yes, he will. But he has very interesting conversations, and I genuinely love going into work and seeing him on
picking
the schedule.
His brain, yeah.
Because I can't even name conversations we've had, but I know they were wild and amazing.
Yeah.
You remember that one night that we were working together and Richard was just going on while you were trying to close? He was drunk.
Yeah, no, yeah. I've had to shut him down plenty of times. Where I'm like, dude,
fun.
Richard, I'm so like, listen, if it was any other time of the shift, I would have been all ears. But I'm trying to get my ass out of here, and I have to mop.
Question.
Yes.
Is this like pausable?
Yeah, we can pause. Yeah.
I really have to pee. I
wonder fucking why, Kadie Dodson.
Maybe this Mountain Dew.
Yeah, maybe so. Here, we'll come back and then I'll finish the. No, we're not. Jesus Christ.
We'll just continue.
No, I will pause it, and then when we get
regroup.
back, I will finish my middle school tangent. We can start.
Middle school tangent.
It might be how we have parallel.
How we met. Because we were gonna talk about
we
that.
we gotta do like a Tarantino non-linear script kind of a thing. Tarantino? Oh, get your feet up. Okay. All right. No feet. Okay, we will be back in a minute, but it'll seem seamless to the listener. One moment. Goodbye, guys, for now. All right, that bathroom break was sponsored by Dude Wipes, unofficially.
Sure.
Yeah, they're in there. Keep them stocked up.
Yeah.
So anyway,
You always have those on you.
Yes.
I noticed.
Mm-hmm.
Like when you'd go to Greeks, you would always have them in your cooler.
Yeah, I'd rather be comfortable.
Hey, you know what? It's your
the
body, your choice.
It's the bridge point between ape-like wiping with just toilet paper.
Ape-like.
It just feels. I mean, I guess they're not sophisticated enough. They can maybe use a banana peel, but that'd feel great like a dude wipe. It's the bridge point between traditional harsh toilet paper wiping and a bidet.
Or baby wipe.
Yeah, but baby wipe essentially is just a dude
Those are for
wipe.
babies. I'm not a fucking child. I'm a man. I gotta use dude wipes.
Specifically, I am a dude. I'm only gonna use it if it has dude. I'm a sucker for brands though. Like I'll drink Liquid Death because I'm like the cans look awesome.
Yeah.
That's the only reason.
Isn't that like sparkling water and stuff?
This is a tea itself. Sponsored by Liquid Death. That's the dream. Liquid Death and Dude Wipes is a sponsor.
Mountain Dew.
That'd be awesome as well. But to finish my middle school stuff. So, like I said, wanted to quit senior year, stayed, and which is a good thing. I did. I got to get a lot closer with you through drumline and stuff. It was time for sure well spent. And I want my idea behind quitting was I was like I've done everything I wanted to do and I just don't want to do it anymore. I want to get started on like the rest of my life. And then Pal and Skinny B were like they were like, hey man, you're gonna have the rest of your life to be an adult after, so you might as well just cash in now and just stick it out for us. It was a weird thing, but I did stay and it was fine. But then I said earlier they wanted me to come back in tech, which for those who are the lingo of tech, there's the director, but it's like you're just teaching everybody, but it's like oh,
hey, don't step right there.
I'm a drum tech. Oh, that's a guard tech. That's a low brass tech. With just different sections, different specialties.
Underpaid helpers.
Yes, for sure. And I wasn't really caring about the money. I was more concerned about like, hey man, if I linger around and like just I don't leave high school, it'll feel like I never left, and that's kind of it didn't leave anyone to have room for growth like below me. So like for you, because Jackson, Caleb, they're all like 2 grades below me, and like they're going to be the next guys in line to be the drum captains. So if I come back and well, in my mind, I was doing them all a favor. You're making faces as if that's not the case.
I'm not making faces.
Yeah, we have no proof.
There's no video.
Nope, that's true. But the idea was that if I linger around, 1, I don't get to grow as a person, but also 2, it'll be like I never left, and so they don't get to grow in return. Just wouldn't work out that way. So I was like, no, I will not be doing that. But I compromised. I was like, I will work at the middle schools through the whole school year after I graduated. So the school year of 2023 to 2024. So basically doing what you're doing right now, but you're doing it as like you're going into the career path. I was doing it as like
I'm gonna pay for 8. Well, my parents are paying for the first 4, but my plan is to get a doctorate in music ed.
Oh wow!
So that I can teach at colleges.
Hell yeah!
I want to be a college
professor,
director, and stuff like that. Because I would love to do, like, conducting for musicals.
Yes.
Like what Belt does in the pit.
Mm-hmm.
I want to do that.
He eats that shit up every time.
Oh, he loves that.
Yeah, he looks for you.
That's his thing.
That is his thing. It's like
Skinny G's thing.
It's the conducting for musicals and tambourines and green peppers are his thing.
And timpani.
Oh yeah,
He'll get on your ass for timpani.
He loves some timpani. Yeah,
he does.
He has an ear for that.
Well, because he did timpani and tambourine. That was his thing.
Yeah.
In college.
It's to major in those instruments themselves. I'm just like, why not just play drum set? It's so much more cool.
I cannot get on drum set for the life of me.
Because everyone's hogging it up?
Or no, I mean, like, I just can't do it.
Oh.
It's just there's so much going on.
Yeah, but that's the fun part. And also my brain developed around it.
Yeah.
And so
The next instrument on my list, it should be violin, of course, because if I'm going to get a doctorate in music education, I should be able to play
the
cello,
whole,
violin, viola, bass.
yeah, the whole orchestra family.
I want to do bass guitar. So bad. I have a bass guitar. I have an amp. I have resources.
And you might
I don't have time.
Exactly, yeah.
That's the sad thing.
I'm surprised you even like pulled off like you had like the night free for this.
Yeah, I was supposed to have my cello lesson earlier,
That's
but
right.
then the lady got stuck in Maryland. So
Oh,
she's super sweet.
who's Maryland? That was implying she got stuck inside of a woman named Maryland.
What?
And now she can't meet the lesson.
Really?
Comedy. We just crossed an hour, and I chose to
Really?
to ruin the episode with that. Oh well. But yeah,
she
well,
did her undergrad at Juilliard and is finishing out her doctorate at Jacobs.
wow.
Yeah.
They're big time schools.
Best music schools in the country.
Jacobs is 30 minutes from my driveway.
Mm-hmm.
Crazy.
It's 42 from mine.
I'm a little closer to Bloomington than you are.
You're 30 minutes away from me. Yep. I took so many back roads here. Do you do that?
Ever to go anywhere, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just I don't want to live
I didn't know
anywhere
if there was
else.
like a more.
No.
I thought Google Maps was just taking me down a weird way.
Nah, dude. I live. Basically, the way to describe it to people, I live in the middle of a triangle that is made of highways. So 69 connects Martinsville and Bloomington, and then 46 connects Bloomington and Spencer, which is where I work in Spencer, hang out Bloomington from Martinsville, and then lastly, Spencer back to Martinsville connects with 67.
Yeah.
So I live right in the middle of all that. I know all the back roads so very well, and so yeah, there's no unless you choppered in, then there's no way for you to get here without making.
Why didn't you get me a helicopter here, bud?
It's not in the budget yet.
Yet.
We're not even filming this. I didn't want to fly you out. It would be really cool to be like, oh, get to the
Flying
chopper.
in from Morgantown.
Mama's garage helicopter pad on top of the roof. That would be sick.
You just can't hear anything because the helicopter's up there the whole time.
yeah. It's like, huh? It's just that the entire episode. I did. I can't hear because of the helicopter. Oh my god!
Did I scare you?
No, the sound bars on the GarageBand are like it's like huge right now. It's ridiculous. For some reason I can't. It's probably frustrating for the listeners. I can't get done with my band stories.
This is what it's like to like hang out with us.
Yeah, it's like
topic after topic, and we have.
It's like winter is coming. It's like George R. Martin.
We made a list. We haven't covered how we met. I mentioned that Powell and Kelly overlap.
Kelly is Kadie's mom.
Luke's questions. We haven't done your questions.
We'll save this for the end.
Okay. Senior years, we've kind of gone over that.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, I told you that Brody totaled his car.
Yeah.
And then Greeks, Tuba Kid. There's another part to this Greeks. My dad was on YouTube, as always. And he was like, hey, does this place look familiar? And this lady was doing a vlog of Martinsville. And the cover was of Greeks.
Cool. Like the thumbnail of it?
Yeah. And so, of course, like, he clicks on it, and we look through it, and she walks in front of Greeks. She's like, this is Greeks. And then she turns the camera, and your car's there. I go,
damn.
That's the Luke Easter egg.
Oh, my God. All right.
Yeah.
Fuck the middle school story. All of it is... I'll make it very brief. I'm going to talk about my car and you real quick. I'm going to tell everyone about that story. But in all, I worked in the middle schools the year after I graduated, and it wasn't very fun. The scheduling didn't work. There was days where I'd go and I wouldn't have any band to do. It was just frustrating for that, and I just would wake up and waste my gas on it and stuff. Did not appreciate that. The pay was also terrible. And I kind of knew that going into teaching, but also I was promised money that I never got, and so just not good. But that job did give me an entire new outlook on how undervalued teaching is, and it's basically a service to the world.
One thing that Mr. Goodman, he's a violin teacher at the high school, and he comes in. I was talking to him about teaching and stuff, and how he did not want to be a teacher at all. He just wanted to perform, which is understandable. I'm
Right.
not like a full performer on the cello, though. That's not what I want to dedicate my life to. I want to create people's love for playing, stuff like that.
That's awesome, though.
But he was like, my teacher, my private lessons teacher, when I was 15, she made me teach lessons. She would refuse to teach me if I didn't teach. And it's because when you teach, you have to have you have to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you have to understand it, not in its entirety, but you have to know a lot of it to teach this person correctly.
For sure.
Because, like, when you're giving an example to somebody, if you're playing this, I don't know, you're playing a beat, whatever, or if I'm playing a scale, I have to be in tune completely. I can't be like, oh, wait, that was wrong.
Right, yeah.
I can't redo. Because that person has to have, like...
a foundation.
Yeah, it has to be a solid foundation. You can't just cram in this, like... If you're always getting it wrong, this kid doesn't know what's right, you know?
That's true.
And
because when you are a teacher and you see like the light go off in someone's head, it's a win for everybody. It's
so
awesome.
amazing.
You're like, holy shit, I imparted wisdom on someone.
I was teaching these cellists, and they don't even know what flats and sharps are.
Oh, damn.
They don't even really know how to read the music. I had to explain to them, there's a B flat in there. It was in like key F or something. There was a B natural and then a B flat. And they were like, why is it different?
It's a half step.
Yes. But I had to come up with something because what I was saying wasn't right. And so I was like, sharps and flats. It's like a bagel. You can have sweet bagels and you can have savory bagels. These savory bagels like butter, salmon, dill, like capers. You know, that kind of bagel, that like kind of breakfasty bagel or whatever.
Salmon?
Like fucking like smoked salmon.
Okay, all right. I guess I'm not very well versed on bagels.
I
but
love bagels. Anyway.
This is good. Continue.
And then you have like sweet bagels, like with cream cheese, fruit, blah blah blah. You don't mix sweet and savory bagels. They don't show up in a scale together, right? And the more like sharps and flats, like the more toppings. And they actually understood it. It kind of didn't even make sense in my head, but they understood it. And that's what matters.
It's a win, yes.
Like,
I've had, I don't know off the top of my head, but I've had several examples where it's like, oh, I need to explain this not in technical terms, but in an analogy.
Yeah,
and you
because
just do it out of your ass.
They don't understand like whole steps, half steps. They don't understand that like on a piano.
Right, it's not embedded in their head yet.
Yeah. But was trying to explain like going up like A B C D E F G, A B C D E F G, how it just repeats and then it's backwards all the way down. And I was trying to think of a way to like put that to a kid because they were kind of getting it.
Yeah.
Like the really quick ones in the class were getting it.
Yeah,
but...
for sure. Especially that age, because some kids are going to get it.
Yeah.
Some kids are going to be like, brother,
this sucks, I'm quitting.
Yeah.
And that makes all the difference. If that kid doesn't get a snap moment in the beginning, then they lose hope and they're just gone.
You
can't let them give up on themselves.
Right.
If they don't have a small win or like a win at all, they're just, my mom has that candle. I'm sorry. If they don't have that win, then they're like, I can't do this at all. I'm done.
Yeah, and I taught drum set lessons privately for a little bit. I probably stopped doing that about a year ago.
I teach lessons now too at Tom's.
Oh, really? I didn't even know that. And so I do enjoy teaching a lot. It's just the institution at which I was doing it wasn't benefiting me, so I stopped it. But I do enjoy talking about things that I love, but also sharing that. But like it kind of shows like how important fundamentals are, where if you can break it down to the finest detail, then that's when you as the person teaching fully understands it. And every time you teach, it reinforces what you know.
It does, because I was it's happened so much with cello. Like since I have started teaching, I have been so much stronger in my basics because I'm going over the basics. I'm going over the same thing every day. Like this one kid I'm teaching at Tom's, we've been Miss Franklin.
Hey, Mama.
Hi, Miss
A
Franklin.
little bit of a callback episode.
I know you didn't hear me. I just wanted to shut the door so I don't.
Okay, yeah, it's all good.
Your audio.
I appreciate it. Say hi to
Thank
everybody.
you.
Hi everybody. Episode 3.
That's right. Hell yeah, love you.
Love you.
But yeah. Goddamn.
I'm a big fan.
Yeah, no kidding. No, but yeah, it's just whenever like another thing about drumline itself is that we warm up the same way every single time, which is something I haven't done since I was in drumline because I'm kind of like in this like I'm still a young man at heart where it's like, well, I don't need to do that. I'm not part of that anymore. But fundamentals are just with anything, whether it's, you know, directing a movie or, you know, baking food. Like, you just got to have your shit down. You got to make sure you're not a crack an egg. You got to make sure you can play rudiments correctly.
And teaching and stuff, it's changed the way that I practice.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'm making these kids reinforce their scales.
Mm-hmm.
I need to do that.
Yeah,
That's
you got to practice what you preach. Like, literally.
Yeah, you have to practice what you preach. Like, I warm up with scales. I work on scales. It's not just, like, a side thing anymore.
Yeah,
it's
no.
like, I have to know my scales.
Mm-hmm. It's because it's
I can't
foundation
just
itself.
get by anymore.
Yeah, the word foundation, it's like it supports everything else above it. So you got to have this first before you do anything else. So it's the most beneficial thing to do is to just make sure the ground's laid.
When I'm thinking about, like, I keep a notebook of, like, the stuff that I'm working on with my lesson kid.
I was never that organized, but that's really awesome.
But, like, oh shit, where was I going with this?
Notebook. What do you want?
Going through it with my kids.
The Notebook.
The Notebook. I've never seen that movie.
Neither. Ryan Gosling and some bitch. I don't know.
I love Ryan Gosling.
I also love Ryan Gosling. Barbie. Free Fall Guy.
My mom was watching Fall Guy the other day. I haven't seen it, but I know Aaron Taylor Johnson's in it.
La La Land.
I love Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Gangster Squad.
What did you say?
Gangster Squad.
Oh, I thought you said Sphincter Squad.
Ooh.
It's a good name for a group chat.
Good name for a
Squad.
podcast. God damn it. Runner up. Too bad I already made all
That's
my
my
accounts
podcast.
Sphincter Squad? Let's go. There's no way you're going to be able to think of what you said earlier now.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, it's gone.
Completely.
Let's go back to the list then. Let's look at the
I got the video, the thing with your car, the tuba kid, Brody, senior year, Luke's questions.
Oh yeah, my car.
Powell and Kelly overlap.
Yeah, talk about Powell and
Lord.
Kelly real quick.
Just a reminder. James Powell is
I always call him the percussion director.
Yeah, he's the percussion director. And he's the band director at the middle school, but he's my percussion director.
He's drum dad.
He is drum dad.
Like
I see
70s.
him probably more than I see my actual father.
Probably so.
And that's a point I was going to bring up. It's so funny because, of course, Powell, he's always joking, like, I'm the last one to know anything. Especially with, like, relationships and stuff. And, like, I told him that Jack and I were dating, whatever. And sometimes he was checking in on me today. He was like, so you and Rouse are still together? I'm like, yes we are, Dad.
He has like that Kentucky charm too.
He does, because he's just like, how you and Rouse are doing?
Oh, your Lemuel was asking about this.
No, this is Powell.
But you just said Dad though. You called him Dad just as a joke.
No, I didn't. Sometimes I do call him Dad as a joke. I'm like, thanks, Dad.
It's funny. I've mistaken Powell for my dad so many times. Like, at the corner of my eye, or I'm
Powell
like,
and my father look so different that I don't think I actually could like accidentally call like Powell Dad, like for real, or my dad Powell.
Well, I feel much different around both those men. But
have you even met my father?
Yeah,
because you've been at church with us.
Greeks
or
and
not
stuff,
with
for
us,
sure.
but yeah.
Yeah, I got an idea.
Good old Wayner.
I finally remember his name now. I remember that I asked you probably 5 times while we worked at Greece. Like, what's your dad's name again? It's like, well, like
same name as your dad.
Like Remy. It's like no, it's Lemuel. I'm
Lemuel.
Like, I'm thinking of like a meal.
He's stubborn. He's stubborn as a fucking mule. That's what. But I also got that from him too.
Oh, I said a mule for sure, but Emile is Ratatouille is Remy's brother in Ratatouille.
I thought you said a mule.
Well, it sounded like that. It's a bunch of weird vowels.
But he's
Emile.
a stubborn son of a gun. Oops.
Yeah, dude. But Kelly is your mom, Pal's drum dad.
Kelly.
They both have ADHD apparently, or ADD.
Yes. My mom only recently was like, I really think I have ADHD. I'm like, are you joking? You didn't know that? Kelly, have you observed yourself at all?
You ever like listen to your voice back before? It's like
have you seen me?
Squirreling.
You see how you raised me? I've definitely chilled out since I've joined band though. I used to be
You're tired all the time,
squirrely
dude.
guy. Yeah. I have been sleeping, taking so many naps over break and stuff. It's so great.
Oh yeah, you're good. You're back in the thick. Plus, you had 2 more days that you weren't prepared for.
Snow days.
Yeah, dude.
I actually went out and I played in the snow.
I
Probably the last snow days of my high school or my school career.
probably so, but it's not a bad thing.
No, it was great. Cause
It's like a celebration.
I went to Brooke's house, stayed the night because I was bored as fuck.
Snowed in.
We had chili and hot chocolate and cinnamon rolls, and I played Fortnite.
When did I ask? Oh, get got. All right, guys, it's been a great episode.
And then the next day I went home for a couple hours, and then we all went to Braxton's and hung out, played in the snow.
Braxton's house is like right by the
Circle K.
That's right. I used to teach him drum set lessons plenty of times.
Okay, this is just, I know I keep like bringing up Jack, but he kept hitting me with snowballs like in the back of my head.
Jesus.
And it would go down my jacket.
Oh
or
my god.
Or he hit me in the face. I was already strangle that motherfucker.
I bet.
To be honest.
Was he like the it's not ice, it's compact snow. Like that's what ice is.
No.
Fuck.
But I could it was so obvious to see who had siblings and like what position you were in the sibling ranking during that snow, like playing out in the snow. Cause you have like Brooke like antagonizing Braxton's I don't know, like fighting back, and then Jackson being a fucking menace to everybody.
Yeah, dude.
And I just want to sit over here in the snow.
You're like, I just want to make Olaf.
I just want to sit here.
I like warm hugs.
Oh, we were watching Dexter.
I'm aware of Dexter. I've never seen the show before.
She started playing episodes in the literally middle of all the seasons of and whatever. It was
feels
really
like
good.
A serial show, not episodic.
Have you ever heard of the show 50 Rock or no, Third Rock from the Sun?
No.
Let me pull up this guy. Since you're such a movie guy, you'll know who he is if I show you.
Yes. I am a movie guy.
But I was like, I've seen him from Third Rock from the Sun, so seeing him in any way that's not Goofy is like, that's not him.
Yeah. Not Goofy. Almost like he's an actor. He could portray several emotions, let alone
but he was
Goofy.
He was portraying a serial killer, like a vicious serial killer.
Oh.
And I'm like, that's like seeing Josh Gad play a serial killer to me.
Literally Olaf? Is that what you just brought him up?
I'm gonna give you a warm hug. John Lithgow.
I know John Lithgow. Yeah.
I was like,
he's Lord Farquaad.
What?
Yeah, dude.
Okay, I can hear it.
Yep.
I can hear it in my head. Damn.
Some of you may die, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
I haven't seen Shrek in so long.
It's great. It's a fantastic
honestly,
movie.
I have kind of purposefully tried to stay away from it because it was so... Everybody was making such a big deal about it. Especially one person. I'm not going to name a name.
Not that we've been doing that the whole time, but...
Hit her with a fucking car, I'm going to be honest.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, she was so obsessed with it. I was like, it's not that fucking good.
You know,
I know I go nuts about a couple things, like the Muppets, like Sue Me.
Yeah, but But it's
she
like
was doing it for
it's like adorable when you talk about the Muppets. You're like I love the Muppets so much. It's like
I met
hey,
Kermit the Frog the other day.
it's like I feel certain ways about other things.
And that love was started by Kelly, by the way.
Oh, all about the Kelly.
She loved the Muppets. She had a Kermit puppet. And that little Kermit that's sitting in my car was hers. I have a mini Kermit that sits on my dashboard.
Kermit is just a lovable character.
Oh my gosh, I love him so much. And then, so...
We should get Jason Segel on the podcast.
I did not know that he wrote that Muppet movie.
That's crazy.
I knew that we would start talking about the Muppets.
I
had it in my head.
I wasn't even gonna write it down. It was just like it'll organically get there no matter what.
But and it's such a good Muppet movie, and it has to be because of him. I mean, I love all of the other Muppet movies,
but my
favorite will always be Muppets in Space. Though, have you ever seen that one?
I've not. Is that
you better fucking get it?
I gotta sit down and I feel like the Muppets have much more depth than I'm giving them because I've always been like
they act like I think maybe Jason Segel explained it. He was like, Fraggle Rock is about teaching young kids like how to deal with emotions, how to interact with people in a healthy way, like actually building like fundamental good stuff out of children. The Muppets are more for like the adults. Like they go through like Kermit, he's depressed. Not like depressed, but he's going through it.
Yeah,
he has to deal with all
the drinking wine meme. Like, yeah, he's trying to wash away memories.
But he's dealing with all this stuff, and they're dealing with like more, I guess, adult relationships.
I see. It's just that,
especially that there's this like Muppet Office show where they're all like, it's like basically the Office if it was for the Muppets, because Miss Piggy has like a talk show or something.
Oh yeah.
And so it's showing all the behind the scenes, and the Muppets they have hangovers.
That's pretty cool.
I think there's this joke about Fozzie. He's trying to find a girlfriend. He's on a dating app.
Waka waka.
And he's like,
I'm literally Fozzie. I'll do stand up now. Waka waka. I'm gonna do that on stage next time.
You better fucking
waka
you tell
waka.
me when you're about to do that so I can like bring a tomato.
I record all of my sets so I can just do it and then I'll show it to you, and have it be deafening silence at the end.
Waka waka.
Wacko.
He's talking into the camera, and he's like, I put on my dating profile like simple bear looking for love. And he's like, you get a lot of wrong people answering for that. And he was like, it's not wrong, but because bear is like a big gay man,
a euphemism for
like a large hairy gay man.
Yeah, dude.
And I'm like, who came up with that joke?
It's great writing because it's subtle. That's what you're looking for.
It is.
Yeah, it's
really great.
It's dancing around the line of that's always great. Well, okay, well, as an ode to you, but also an ode to, like, you know, giving my brain the potential to appreciate this art, I will do a little bit of a Muppet dive. Is it I can find it on Disney Plus probably?
Yes, a lot of the Muppet stuff is on Disney Plus because Disney owns the Muppets.
I specifically want to watch the Jason Segel one, so
it's really good, and it got a lot more people back into the Muppets because they kind of like went away.
But like
Muppets from Space is so amazing though. There's a bunch of like funk music in it.
Oh.
And it's about Gonzo. Gonzo's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
Cause he's a little weirdo, and he was a plumber. Anyway,
Gonzo.
it's about him because he's the only one who looks like him on the planet. He's like, I'm alone. I want to find my family, and he finds his family. They are from outer space. He's an alien. They come down. They sing Celebration.
Like, come on.
Celebration, dance, come on. It's this
Celebrate. It's a party going on. Yeah, it was
like
on my
Uncle
MP3 player. Yeah, I love that song.
But they sing that, and then he's like,
is.
no, I found my family down here.
Oh my god.
And then they go back up in this egg-shaped spaceship, and it's
so
really great. It's like finding family.
There's like real, like, what's the word? I don't know. There's like a lesson to be learned about everything, and so that's good. I want to get into writing. I just have no idea where to start. I feel like I can reverse engineer like a finished project where I'm like, I understand where that idea came from, but I do not know how to conceptualize and then fall out. So, but I have time to figure
I
out.
love
I'm only a
coming up
boy.
with ideas. The hardest part for me is actually writing them down because I'm so bad at not being able to use my words. Like I am not good at.
I feel like everyone listening right now would disagree with us.
Well, like describing
we,
things.
it's because we probably have a above average, vocabulary, but it's like we know our brain is even more ahead of that, and
my brain goes way too ahead, and
there's
I can't.
a gap.
Yeah.
And so I
It's
totally
like-
I totally agree with that.
On like a big microphone, if you're in a large area,
Mm-hmm.
like hearing the echo and stuff,
Oh,
you'll
yeah.
hear your voice after, and so it messes with your head.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Of course, me, the sound guy, has to bring that up.
but I mean, what better place to talk about sound than
Yeah.
my
Into the microphone.
my little podcast studio that also works as my bedroom, my practice area, my editing space, my living room, my kitchenette, my
With your
closet.
little. Oh, I didn't even know you. Oh yeah, you do have a Keurig
I have a
in here.
Keurig on top of my mini fridge.
Uh-huh.
There's some oatmeal over there. I have a bunch of.
I
have a whole bunch
I had
of.
oatmeal this morning.
What
Waiter
kind of,
goes, "Hey, we have some oatmeal. You
what-
want some?
what kind of oatmeal was it?
Brown sugar.
Oh yeah.
Good shit."
No,
And then,
good shit indeed.
good shit.
So, did you ever talk about? We were like dialing the point of like how your mom and Pal are kind of similar, besides ADHD? Because you said it was like a recent epiphany.
Yeah, and because they'll both check in on me on certain things around the same time. That's what sparked it. Because
Oh.
my mom's like, "So what's Jackson up to?" And then I'll go off to practice, and Pal's like, "What's Jackson up to?"
As if
I'm like, "Are you
Jackson's
two
not
connected?"
there.
Like, I don't know. Oh, he's over there. Go ask him.
Seems more like a Jackson question, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know, but I do know a guy who would know.
Or like, turn around.
Yeah.
And then, oh no, it was right there.
We'll
Oh,
get it.
they're also both like, they sense when I'm tired or like when
Oh.
I'm worn down.
They know when you go
'Cause,
in low
like,
battery mode.
With all of, yes, whenever I do so much stuff.
List it off real quick so people know. So-
Do you want like from this year that I'm doing, or like all that I've done
Well, what
in my high school? I can name you everything in my high school career.
do it?
I started out. I did student council in middle school and the beginning of high school. I hated it in high school, and then that's when I started theater, and I did backstage. I actually auditioned for Anything Goes. I didn't get in,
Oh,
and then I was like, "Oh, I'll do backstage." So started backstage. I started doing technology for backstage, and then that's the summer that I started marching band. So I did color guard.
what year was that? Well, what grade were you in? I guess
I was going into sophomore year.
it's okay. That would have been my senior
That was your
year.
last year.
Yeah.
And then, so I did color guard, and then that winter, I of course did all of the first musical, or no, the two musicals, and then the play. And I did drumline during that too, on top of my school schedule, and orchestra. I've been in orchestra this whole time. And I think that's also when I started percussion class.
Yeah.
And then junior year, of course, I did marching snare for marching band. And then, of course, I did the two musicals and the play, orchestra, percussion class,
Jeez.
and then winter drumline. And that was Mesmerize. I love that
Yes,
show.
I enjoyed that show. I watched it
love
last
that
year.
And then this year, I was the drum major for marching band. And then, of course, I'm doing winter drumline right now. And Phantom of the Opera happened.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, of course, we're
Chandelier.
still there.
Oh yes,
Mhm.
guys, Chandelier was crazy.
So much
I bet. I talked to Brian and Rick, who are our favorite gay Jews. Who-
I was so surprised when I found out that Brian was Jewish. Because I looked on his wall and he has a bunch of like photos up, and I was like, why does he have that stuff? Isn't that Hebrew? And then I looked at his phone case and there's a
Star of
menorah.
Dave. Wow.
And I asked Haley, I was like, is Brian Jewish? She goes, yes, you didn't know? It's everywhere. I'm like, I don't pay attention
like, you
to...
know where we come from? There's about one Jewish guy for every half black guy. Where we come from. It's all the same. It's just scrotums on trailer hitches and camo hats and neon sometimes.
I wanted to get one of those for Buggy. One of the ball things.
It's a funny little gag. But no,
I have a Ford Escape, by the way.
I also have a Ford Escape, by the way, which we will eventually talk about my car and what you have to do with it.
Yeah.
It has to do with something on my wall over there. So, but no, I was talking to Rick and Brian about the chandelier that was there for the Family Opera, and it's on this big ass pulley system. Really cool.
Yeah.
But I was like, hey, are you guys gonna keep the pulley system for
all of it is
for Spider-Man? You guys gonna do Spider-Man on Broadway?
Oh my god!
I've heard people die doing it. a lot of broken backs and
Really?
I don't know. I might have just been in South Park, but whatever. Where they
I want to see Book of Mormon so bad.
I would love to see Book of Mormon. It won so many Tony Awards.
Probably did. I would imagine it. I know the Houston saw it. They went out to like actual like Broadway stuff, and I think I saw Phantom.
Wow.
No.
The Houstons are a family of diehard theater people.
Yes.
Very good people.
Very good. I love Rich so much. He's so sweet. He's a very nice man. I've never had any problems with Richard.
Richard Houston?
Yeah.
Dick Hughes. For short.
Yeah.
But yeah, Book of Mormon sounds awesome. Let's talk about the story about my car and you. Now, I gestured towards the wall, and Kadie was trying to figure out what I was talking about.
I don't. I see
so
Zombie
Prom.
Prom.
I have. Well, whenever you say it out loud, you list stuff off on my wall in this general area, and we'll figure it out.
You have your jackets.
Yep, I have my jackets.
Darts.
Darts.
Target. You are a Target.
Target. Oh no.
Okay. Drumhead. Clock.
Yep.
Who the fuck's texting me? You have. Zombie Prom.
Yep. Another musical I was a part of.
I loved Zombie Prom. So much.
Slept on. A lot of good shit.
I know, it was such a good musical, and people didn't go out to see it as much because it's not like a known one.
Yeah.
And it sounds kind of dumb. It does.
Sounds intriguing.
Yeah, Zombie Prom. Like, what can it be?
Well, yeah, like
I love that soundtrack. It's one of my favorites. Anyway, marching band photo.
Not that.
Beatles.
Nope, not Abbey Road either.
Nice butt.
That was I got that from Greeks because we have the bar attached to Greeks is called the Grog Goat, and the thing on my wall says these three goats looking around a corner. It says nice butt. It has nothing to do with goats, but it's just funny.
Like a headbutt.
Yeah, I'm an ass man, so it makes a lot of sense that it's up there.
not WWE. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, WWE.
And that is exactly what I wanted to bring up.
How does that relate?
I promised it all makes sense.
Okay.
So, she's referring to my Macho Man figurine on the wall. One of my favorite comedians on earth. One of my favorite podcasters. His name is
Randy Savage.
Yes, that is Randy Savage. Macho Man Randy Savage. Well, there's a man out there who does a really, really good Macho Man impression. His name is Dan Soder.
Okay.
He's a comedian. Been killing it for years. He's based out of New York. But I went to go see him live back in Indianapolis back in July. I just turned 19. I went by myself, okay? So, reason why I bring Kadie into this situation is that I went to go see this on a Friday. I scheduled work off to go do this on my own. It's like a little birthday gift to myself. And so, the Wednesday before that, I was working a double at the pizza shop. This was before Kadie ever worked there, but I didn't even...
That's the day that I went in and asked Kyler for a job.
That's right. It's pretty good. Shout out Kyler if he's listening. He's our...
Kyler.
Your boss, my old boss. Still a good friend.
He's such a great New Yorker.
I know.
So amazing.
That's good.
Anyway.
Well, I didn't even know you were coming in, but I saw you walk in holding a marker, and you were hovering around my vehicle for a while, and then you walked in as if you weren't holding the marker, but you had both your hands behind your back like a cartoon.
I actually, you might not believe me, I meant to make it look really suspicious.
Okay, well, there's a chance I picked up on that. I was like, oh, it's Kadie doing a bit. I'm all here for it. However, I do feel like it's going to be at my suspense. So I'm like, Kadie, I know you're holding something. You're like, no, I'm not holding. No, I'm not.
Playing the dumb card, yeah.
It's very fun. I walked outside, and what did you write on my...
Sorry, girls, I'm gay.
Yeah. I think it was sorry, ladies, I'm gay.
Maybe.
A little more sly.
Sorry, ladies, I'm gay.
Sorry, ladies, I'm gay. Which, no, I'm an ally, but that is just not true. I'm an ally. But, ladies, I am not gay. But it was funny. Did not need to happen, but I was like, I can't ignore the comedic factor. This is really funny. So, it remained in my car for a few days. So now, like I said earlier, I'm going to Indianapolis to the Helium Comedy Club. Coolest little club, Indianapolis. It's so cool. But I'm driving by myself. And I've been in Indianapolis plenty of times before, but never on my own. So I'm just a little bit frantic behind the wheel. And also, it occurred to me on the highway up there. I was like, that's pretty funny. I have little message on the back. But I'm like, oh, I get to go see one of my favorite comedians. I was going to go to both shows, the early show and the late show. See the same twice. It was going to be great. And when I get to the very edge of town, I am greeted by these protesters. And I'm like, well, I don't know. I haven't been watching the news recently. I don't know what this is all about. And so I just kind of wrote it off as like, whatever, it's fine. I'm sure they're just promoting something, like some PETA people, just they love animals. Yeah. I was not correct. The further I got into town, the more dense these protesters became. And since Indianapolis is a more urban place, there's a lot of the demographic is wide. It's very, very diverse there, which means there's a lot of people with different races, a lot of people with different sexualities. And so
Very
for some reason,
opinions.
Exactly, yes. And so when I approached near downtown, I realized that some of the signs that they were reading, it said, God hates fags.
You just went for it.
I did. Well, I was like, no, I'm not going to beat around the bush, and no one's can cancel me. No one even knows about this podcast. I bet most people aren't even listening right now because they tuned in.
Wait, this is live?
No, of course.
Oh.
No.
Oh. Sorry.
No.
I apologize for my dumb ass.
No,
I forget that this is going out later.
No, you said, wait, this is live? As in, like, they're going to hear everything I just said. The Jews are coming.
Brian, no!
But no, I had the sorry ladies, I'm gay written on the back of my goddamn vehicle. Driving alone through the city, I'm gripping the steering wheel with all of my might, hoping I don't get a brick through the goddamn window, or just my car was damaged. But I'm driving through. It's a goddamn Catholic convention going on in Indianapolis during this time. Probably an all weekend thing. There's a lot of, I called them touchers, walking around on the sidewalk, black, I was going to almost said overalls. It's coveralls. When they had the white collar, I'm like, that's one of the guys. Luckily, I'm just out of the price range for them. Just a few years away. I'm all right. But I was driving through, and without Kadie's input on the back of a windshield, I would have been much better going through. I would have been just another guy driving a Ford Escape. I'm not driving a Kia. They're not going to be able to sift me out that way.
Spin.
Yeah, good lord. But no, I was like, this is...
Dick to twirl.
Another plate to spin and a dick to twirl. Get your picket signs out, boys. This is going to be... They're coming in hot. But no, then I had to go find parking during this. And because it was a convention, they jacked those prices up. Criminal. Mm-hmm. I was probably in that parking garage. Well, the first show was like 7:30. The second show was like 10. I didn't leave the club till like 11:30. So I parked at like around 6. I was there for about 5 hours. Mm-hmm. Parking cost me $34.
Damn.
I know.
I didn't even pay the stuff at the art sanctuary parking lot. They're like, pay to park. No.
For a fucking Catholic convention, it's kind of wrong that they were fucking me in the ass with that. It was ridiculous. But I ran out of my car as soon as I got parked, and I had a dude wipe. Sponsored. Not officially. And I wiped that shit off so quickly, and I was like scanning the area. for potential touchers around.
I remember when you told me how you had to. I remember this whole story.
Oh,
You told me.
It was so nerve-wracking. But
It's also fucking hilarious.
the-
I know you felt unsafe, but that's so funny.
you put me under so much stress. And the reason why it has something to do with Macho Man is because I brought that figure in the hopes that Dan Soder would sign that figurine. Because he does the impression, he's kind of known for it almost. I'm like, this would be a funny little gesture. I'd be just be like, oh, cool Macho Man thing. Oh, yeah, brother. Whatever. So, the moments after I get done wiping this fucking thing off the window, I have a new problem. I have to, like a cool guy, walk in to this fucking comedy club with this toy in hand by myself. So here's my approach. I had a Kroger bag with me, just holding it. So walking to the city, it's like, oh, that guy has groceries. He's walking around, whatever. But I do know that
Only the essential.
in small areas like a comedy club, they're not going to be cool with me bringing in outside sources. But I was like, they aren't going to stop a grown man holding a toy because of the repercussions. He might be special needs. So I walked into this fucking comedy club holding my toy, and I had never been more disrespected in my entire life. It wasn't, it was very subtle. They were like,
Man, he's fucked up. He's gay and autistic.
there wasn't
Double whammy.
They weren't like, oh, nice toy, bro. That would have been on the nose. What they did, they were like, oh, what you got in your hands there? I was like,
He didn't tell me this part.
no, I was like, oh, I thought he would sign my Macho Man. They're like, that's cool. Happened 4 times. It was like 2 is enough where I'm like, this is alright, maybe I should reconsider this. 3 is a pattern, 4's overkill. I was like, I get it. I know it's
something's gotta change.
I know it's suspicious. I understand. Good God.
Yeah.
And then I fucking prop the figurine up the whole time during the second show, right in his eye. Doesn't even address it. But then I realized, this isn't even original. Because of the first show, I walk in, the guy who sits next to me is wearing a Macho Man shirt. So I'm like, oh, now I'm the retard, but also the unoriginal retard who almost got his ass kicked for being gay. God. Now, you had nothing to do with the Macho Man thing. That was a personal thing I wanted to do on my own.
Well, I'm glad you told me that story because I didn't know that happened.
Yeah, so that Macho Man figure is, the point is I got through that the whole day on my own. And so it represents solitude.
Encourage.
Yeah, it encourages you just like, hey, if you want to go do some shit.
Autistic gay courage.
Yes. Oh, yes. You gotta love that incredibly niche form of courage. But the last part about this.
He is so socially unaware.
I went through so much that day. But a lot of peaks and valleys. Driving through Indianapolis, not sure it's congested areas. I'm used to
even being in the car in Indy.
It's I hate it so much. So doing that, worrying about getting vandalized for potentially even liking cock, that was enough. But then I was like, fine, I'm in the clear. Then I
can't even toy with the idea.
No, of course not, because they'll sniff it out on me. They'll be like, oh, you're one of
you
those.
Smell like penis thoughts.
Fucking city hick, you goddamn loony. And then I walk through holding my toy, get pointed at, I get pitied.
You just see little children on the street staring at you.
I'm holding my tickets and marker in one hand and then my toy in the other. Alone. God. I won't go see Dan Soda. But then I leave and I'm like, that was a great show both times. It was awesome. I loved it. I went back several times after. But the kicker is that when I left the parking garage, after paying 34 of my dollars that I had earned, it's like 4 fucking tables right there.
Yeah.
On a bad night, but I went the wrong way down a one way.
I did that in town.
Oh God! And so I had this cop yell at me. He was like, "Hey!" I was like, "Huh?"
You want to see my Macho Man?
Have you guys seen Soda around? I have this toy. It's like, turn your vehicle the complete other direction. You're gonna oh God, it was so bad. Like,
it's just like
a bunch of cars piling up around you. You're just walking
Dan?
around.
Dan?
With your macho man up.
Fuck.
Dan, are you single?
Then I'd like you to sign my Meet Macho Man. I shrunk him and put him in a box. He died.
It's just for you,
He
Dad.
died 13 years ago. But I brought him back. Do the voice. Do the voice. So, I noticed that earlier, and I was like, I haven't told that story in a long time. The full version.
Mm-hmm.
And I just needed to. You were the perfect guest to have on for that. That's just perfect. God, that's so yeah.
Okay.
The more I work that story out, the funnier it'll get. I'll cut a lot more of the fat. It's a fun fucking story to tell. So many peaks and valleys. But then I turned my car around and I was like, I'm gonna drive home in silence.
That's such a defeating thing because I always drive with music in my car. It's always blasting. Like I have the bass thumping in my car in my little Ford Escape.
Yeah, dude.
And of course you can hear it outside the car. I have it to where my pant leg shakes with the bass.
Megan Trainor shit. Jesus.
But wait, what was I going with that?
I was going like being silent. Yeah, I'm like
Yeah.
I've earned this.
I remember
I deserve this
distinctly
hell.
out after a marching band practice 2 years ago. Todd was being a fucking menace.
Todd is.
I love him.
He's our tech.
Sometimes
One of our techs.
he made that practice horrible. He was being so mean for no reason. Like I would come to him with a genuine question, like something that he hadn't discussed, like he wasn't about to get to it, but we needed to know. He was just being such a dick. I got in my car, I did turn my music on. First song that played was Let the Light In by Lana Del Rey.
Oh.
Have you ever heard that song? I'm
familiar with Lana. I'm sure I know the song, but the title does not
Yes.
bring it to my ears.
But it started playing, and I was just. I pulled away from the three-way stoplight.
Uh-huh.
I go over the bridge and it's just. And after that song, I just turned off the music. I almost had to pull over.
Jesus.
I just went to bed.
Damn. You were driving as a sophomore? I couldn't even imagine.
Oh, no, then it was junior year.
Yeah. I was gone already.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I was like, this practice fucking sucks.
Lana's not helping. She's not honestly encouraging these emotions, and he said, shut the fuck up, Lana. Cry like Charlie Brown with like fountain tears going around your brain.
Yeah, it was, especially when it got to the part, it was like, it's something like, I love to love to love to love you. I hate to hate to hate to hate you. It was like.
You just drive past Wings, etc. You're just bawling your fucking
Hey,
heart.
you okay?
You want to see my macho man? That was fucking funny. I'm adding that to the story. Oh.
And then, yeah, I just had to turn the music off because I was in danger.
Fuck.
Okay, do you want to get to those questions?
Sure, yeah, because we're at we're
Are we
probably
at 2 hours? Because I
we're
feel
at
like we're getting
1:48.
Okay.
Adding our piss break, probably around 2 hours. But
Damn.
okay, so I have what are these 4 questions? Before we do that, did we cross everything off the list that we have prepared? Oh, how did we meet?
We met because the very first time I ever saw Luke Franklin was at the community night when I was in JV Guard. First time we officially like kind of met like face to face was you were doing drum set for the 8th grade orchestra for a concert.
Oh.
Yes.
Wait, we were doing Frozen?
I don't know.
Was I in 8th grade?
I
No.
was in 8th grade. You were, I think, you were a sophomore.
I was trying to do for jazz band then, probably.
I don't know, but you were playing with the orchestra. Lanigan got you to.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I did all kinds of shit drum set wise.
Yeah.
I had stuck my foot in all the departments.
Yeah.
That's ringing
Yeah,
a bell.
that's how we
Yeah,
met.
because we did it during we went to the middle schools. We did like 3 different sections like that. I think.
I don't know. I just remember because I was like, "Oh my gosh, he's so cute with his glasses." that's what I remember. Because Lanigan, the next day, she was like, "So how'd you guys like playing with the drummer?" Because we never played with like an outside musician before.
Oh yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, he was cute." Yeah.
Back my sophomore year was like the worst I ever looked. I think. Well, I did have a ponytail
Kadie was
2
like,
years.
I like
It
him.
was like,
He's cool.
I like the goggles, especially.
He looks like he likes Macho Man.
Macho manitis. Macho man
he's
like
autistic
tendencies.
and gay.
It was like you can't drive a car.
Okay.
God.
Get on with the questions.
I the first time I remember like because I'm sure we shared a moment during that.
I think we were formally introduced through Alexa though.
Had to have been because it had to have been during theater.
Yeah. Because you stopped by a couple times.
I specifically there's a picture of me with the there's a selfie of us with Agent Sexy. With
Yes.
Yes. That's the first time I remember being like, that's Kadie. All right, I will not forget that now.
Mm-hmm.
I remember I was wearing my Big Kahuna Burger shirt, which is now a tank top that you take to the gym, and I had that hand on.
I was in Goodwill with like Caleb or something. No, I wasn't in Goodwill. He was just talking about it. He called it's Big Kahuna.
Yes.
He goes, "Have you seen that shirt that says Big Kahuana?"
Watch the fucking movie, Baldy.
Okay.
All right, here's these questions.
Rapid.
We're gonna do one that I did. I believe I kicked the podcast off with my mom yesterday with this question.
Okay.
And I called her a name that I'm not going to repeat as a joke, and it went over well. But if someone heard it out of context, they'd be like, "Damn, Luke."
So, this is before it's supposed to be released. If I watch that tonight, I'll hear your mother being called
the word. You'll sniff it. Once I ask the question, you'll be like, I can probably imagine what word you said. But
okay.
In my defense, it was totally a joke, and I apologized for it at the end. It was very, very good. The question is, should prostitution be legal?
I was on TikTok looking at things to talk about. Like, I was like, oh, there has to be some big debate that we can, like, talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And that was one of them.
I feel like we're pretty much like-minded on most things, though.
Oh, yeah. Should prostitution be legal? I mean, I don't know. Because...
You're a young woman, so
yeah.
My mom's 50, and so she's like, "Fuck it, just make appointments for them, make it be like
because I mean, as long as it's two consenting parties, and it's not like she's doing it against her will, he's not doing it against his will, stuff like that. I mean, that's kind of between them.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my mom's perspective, which I totally agreed with, was that kind of thing is going to happen no matter what.
Yeah.
And it would be safer if it was legal, where it's like...
People, like, it's also kind of like pot.
Yeah.
People are going to smoke pot whether it's legal or not.
Uh-huh. Exactly.
People are going to have sex whether it's legal or not.
Sex isn't illegal. It's paying for sex is what's... Oh no, all these people, they're all breaking the law. No, yeah, so I also was like... I'm like, well, here's the thing. OnlyFans is almost like encouraged in culture these days.
Yeah. It's a big way for people to make money now.
Yeah, people can buy houses doing that.
Yeah.
And it's like, and if you are a woman of age and you're like, I'm behind on rent, but I'm sure my meaty boy thighs are gonna, fill those gaps, then by all means do it.
Yeah. I mean, as long as, like, of course, as long as people are consenting in both areas.
Yes, you have to. The consent is,
That's
without question.
That's the big thing.
Yes,
I think.
But I feel like prostitutes would probably. I feel like they gotta have like a strong. No, I guess not strong will, but like
as it's not interfering with other things. Like, people can smoke cigarettes are horrible for you. People can still smoke them.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, at work, as long as it doesn't interfere with your work.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah, when I got my new job, they were talking about like the designated smoking areas where it's like over there, no, Over there, still no. But over here, you're good.
Yeah.
It's like, so go over there. It's like, will do. So I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. Just these invisible borders. But I think like with like, you know, hard drugs as well. It's like if they make an institution for it to be done there, it's like it'll take away like the street kind of, you know,
if you make it more
aura
legal, then
about it.
it's gonna. I don't want to say less dangerous, like.
But it would
it's
take
more
out
like-
the we shouldn't be doing this factor out of it, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like you got to go to a place and like talk to a receptionist where it's like it's I use the analogy where it's like remember going to Marsh and like looking through like the cake book. It's
No,
like
I don't think I've ever was in a marsh.
we had a Marsh at the Strip where Reps is at now in Martinsville.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that place. The joke did real good with my mom. It was very fun. It's all right. You got to know what Marsh is first, and you got to know about it was more of a childhood nostalgic memory that maybe she and I only can share. But basically, it's like you look through like the prostitutes on staff today. It's like,
and that's like going through OnlyFans.
exactly. And so, it's
You're looking at. Oh, that's a bad way to put it. You're looking at like what you want.
mhm.
Like you
yeah,
want
and
to
so-
see the feet of this woman. You
Right,
want
and
to
if-
see this cake. You're looking through a catalog.
cake means two things. But yeah, I think we both agree. I don't know if I would like I don't know where you'd start with that where it's like,
Yeah.
hey, we're gonna basically all the cool shit you like doing and like not telling everyone, you're gonna be surveilled and you're gonna have to fill out some sort of like, you know, like a guest sheet like at a wedding where it's like you were here, you only lasted so long, here's your stats for the month. But I think it would do good, and you'd be like, imagine running into someone from high school. You're like,
I have this.
Miss
beautiful
Thompson, what happened? English not work out for you? She's like, I gotta pay off my fucking student loans one way. Bend
Gotta
over.
pay for my doctorate somehow.
That's right. Okay, these next two questions are Greeks oriented.
Oh.
I'm gonna ask the first one. I have my answer locked and loaded, and if you need time to talk about your answer, then or think about it, then by all means I'll take the lead. But it says, what is the best pizza topping of all time? Do you want to hear mine first?
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought about this a lot because when you work at Greeks
You try new pizzas all the time.
all the time, I don't think I ever made the same pizza twice. But
I do. I have a strict pizza making.
I wish I had that sort of
Well, like
control.
I sometimes experiment with other things, but like I have built this pizza.
Well, it's the most prevalent, and I think it's the most classic topping, and it's pepperoni.
I have my answer.
Okay.
Bacon.
Bacon. It's a really good.
Out of going back to working at a pizza place, you can make any pizza you want.
That's true.
The most
I do miss that.
common added topping between all of these. You would think it's pepperoni. No. That's a classic. It's good.
Yeah, but it's
Bacon.
usually a lot of times it's already on the pizza though. It's
Like
just-
that one, I don't know if you had it, but there's this one pizza that Taylor makes.
oh yeah.
So good. It has like spinach, feta, bacon.
Yes, I have had
Stuff
this
like that.
one. Yes.
I put
like-
bacon on my Hawaiians and stuff.
Which already
Okay.
comes with bacon, but
Yeah, but like out of all of the toppings, bacon is kind of like the cherry on top, because it's just such a good, it's quality.
that's good. Yeah, and we also have really good bacon at Greeks too.
We have really good bacon.
But here's my idea. So I think pepperoni goes good with any other topping. By like, you can list them all. So pepperoni and mushrooms, rooms and ronies. I love that. Pepperoni and pineapple. That's one of my go-tos. I love that way that looks. I like to call it the Deadpool 3 pizza because of the yellow and red. Pepperoni
That's
and
good.
olives. Pepperoni and green peppers.
You're an
Pepperoni and
olive guy?
sausage. I love olives. Yeah.
See, I love pickles. You know that about me. I
Mhm.
love pickles. I can't.
Pepperoni and
ever-
pickles.
I can't get into olives.
Well, it's like it's a very subtle like salty taste. Like it's not. I had a
It's
hiatus
just
where
the
I didn't.
base is like it's different. It's too.
I will say there's two things I want to say about olives. Once I threw up on the bus when I was like in 4th grade, and the night before we had taco salad, and I didn't chew that olive, and I found that out on the bus floor. So I was like, maybe I'll chill on olives for a while. So I had to wean myself back onto it, which
Yeah.
I'm fully back. We're a good relationship with olives. So good, in fact, that I, without even being challenged, I took a shot of olive juice from the salad bar.
Oh yeah, that's what I do with pickle juice all the time.
Right, see, it's the same thing. Yeah, it's just, but I just like how it's like a black liquid, where I'm like, this is like it's like a boog water. I'm like, and it's honestly kind of refreshing.
I love stealing a banana pepper.
Banana pepper and banana pepper and pepperoni is also really really common topping as well. But like pepperoni and feta cheese, pepperoni by itself is just.
I'm a recent feta liker.
I also was against feta for a while. Then I was like, it's actually like a really good additive. Pepperoni and ham, but I just think pepperoni is the most versatile. It's the most classic, and I
would say it's the best classic.
Okay. I just find myself putting it on all my pizzas. Like it just whenever I think of pizza, I picture a pepperoni piece. It's like I think the emoji has pepperoni on it.
Probably.
Mm-hmm. So, the other question about Greeks was, should you tip when you pick up takeout food?
Yes, you should.
I disagree. Obviously, I would enjoy getting the tips as a host.
Yeah.
But it's like, what are you tipping for? Because the way it worked at Greeks is that the host gets that money, or if you have a host in a floor, they would split it in half. But what work are they really doing? If it's based off your hourly pay and they make room for tips, that's one thing. But I think if they didn't have the whenever you got the receipt out.
Usually when I've been working Fridays and Saturdays, and I've been
Busy
doing
nights.
a lot of salad stations. And so whenever I'm making like multiple salads,
No, for sure, yeah, that salads can get crazy.
Yeah. So I guess that's why I feel like you should, because I am actually making your food and moving it out there, and especially like during a rush, like all the carryouts will pile up in the back. You have to stop everything you're doing to go and run these.
Yeah, that's true. I just think like,
I guess in my experience.
I just thought it'd be fun to experiment. Like if you were to take off the tip line off the receipt, I feel like you'd see a huge people wouldn't throw cash in that jar very often. I don't think, but like, they see the tip. Sometimes people will make the conscious effort. I mentioned it in the last episode where they won't even just like draw a line through or ignore the tip space. They'll draw $0.0.00. How much money I'm not giving you to the cent. So I believe that it's a good thing that it is instituted in restaurants and stuff. I just don't think it's necessary, and if it never did occur, I don't think anyone would be like, hey, we should. I don't think anyone would be like, you know what, that's fair. We will start doing that as a society. I
do think we should start doing. Because it depends on like restaurant to restaurant. But I feel like it would do well at Greeks of including at least like a 10% tip
for like
in the bill, because they do that in Europe and stuff like that, where it is just in the bill. You're not supposed to hand over extra cash. You pay your 20% with everything else, so the server is guaranteed that tip. You can't like stiff them.
Yeah, getting stiffed does suck ass.
When I have gotten like lower tips and stuff, so like that was when I was just starting serving and stuff. So yes, I do kind of understand that. But if you're going to a very popular restaurant on like a Friday or Saturday night and it is packed, you should know that you are not going to get the kind of service you would get on like a Monday, like at 3:00.
Yeah, exactly.
You are not going to get the attention to detail, because your server, if it was like a Monday, they only have like you.
Right.
They can get your food out as soon as it comes out. They don't have like much else going on.
I can make sure there's the exact amount of pepperonis on each slice specifically. I can do all of that.
Watch your pizza go in the oven, be made, go in the oven, come out the oven. I can bring it out to you.
Yeah.
On a Friday or a Saturday, I am waiting like 5 different tables.
Yeah. At once.
Helping other people too.
filling in gaps,
Yes.
answering the phone sometimes,
Yes.
getting refills for other tables as well,
Yes, because
handling people to carry out tips,
even
and
if
up
you
at the
have multiple servers, like they are also going to be handling multiple tables.
front.
They can't pay the attention to the detail. So now I'm taking care of little things from other people's tables. And I had the other day, I had this guy who's like, I want to pay for that guy's beer. I'm like, no, you're not going to. No. I didn't tell him no. I actually did it because whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But
It just
you
causes
have to
confusion
go into
in the back.
somebody else's like thing, put it on there, take it out to them.
Yeah, and they'd be like,
Made me so mad.
that guy.
I'm like, you could have gone to the bar, ordered it yourself, put it over there.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And so
I'm doing so many other things.
and I feel like when people don't tip, where it's like, well, we wouldn't give very good service. It's like, hey, dick,
if you want
you're not the only
close
person
service,
here.
if you want something immediately or done how you want it, like to detail, eat at home. I've had people like,
Preach, Miss Dodson.
this blah blah blah, like this salad isn't big enough. Like, of course I didn't make this. I make
Right.
big salads.
Oh yeah, I give that shit plenty. I make it,
Because like if you're gonna pay $9 for a salad, I want a decent salad.
Uh-huh.
I don't want half of the container filled with a couple toppings.
No.
But I was like, I'm sorry, we're in the middle of a rush. I didn't say like if you want something, like if you want it better, just go home and make your own fucking salad.
Right. But that energy was there behind your, the service, Kadie.
Like,
you got to be on all the
yeah.
time.
And that's one thing as a server. I know that we're probably like way over time or something.
Whatever. When people say that we're over time, it's like,
yeah.
who's the boss? I'm the boss. It's my show. Whatever.
The
The file will be bigger, but Spotify can handle it.
But like, though I do so many activities, I hate like pushing like confrontation and like going up to a table and being like, yeah, we can't do that.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
I'm the same way. I'm not. I call myself a pushover, which is
I
pretty much
kind of
true.
am.
But it's like I'm always on the lookout. But it's like if they can be, if any sort of beef can be squashed beforehand, I'm gonna be on that shit.
Yeah.
I don't like stirring the pot like that ever.
Yeah.
Some people are built that way, where it's like
I'll
love confrontation.
ignore little problems until it gets huge and then I can't ignore.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's like, oh, what? Okay,
Yeah.
which that could be a fault, like a faulty, like as being a leader, where it's like, well, I mean, I guess we're not. It's fine, but it's like,
Yeah.
you
Because
gotta,
like especially when I was drum major, little problems would pop up.
yes,
And
drum major is a huge deal too.
I was like, I have other stuff going on right now. If you could just handle this yourself, like,
Right.
I'll tell you, like, you just need to tell them you're sorry. Tell them they need to be sorry too. Blah blah blah. Take care of it yourself. Because I'm dealing with a lot of other stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And so, a lot of it it's not about solving the problem. It's about handling the situation.
Yes.
Even if the problem doesn't get solved, it's more of like you gotta.
I have to acknowledge this.
Yes.
I don't want to acknowledge a problem like in serving and telling people no, and especially when the guy was like, I paid $9 for this salad, it needs to be bigger. I'm like, I'm sorry.
It's like, well, follow me, sir. The salad bar is only a few feet
Go
away.
talk to the salad lady
Yeah.
over here.
Right, and so I never got like really bitched at as a server. I told a story last night, which
The
wasn't.
guy was super nice about it too.
Mhm.
Because I felt bad being upset that he was like, the salad is too small.
Yeah, for sure.
I did, but I was also like,
Actually, sir,
This
the
is-
bowl's too big. Like I always handle shit with trying to see a smile. If I can see a smile, it's like I did a lot better.
he's like a regular who
Mhm.
comes in with his wife, and
Yeah.
so I knew they were gonna come back. So I
Right,
was
but
like,
it's
how
like-
can I fix this for you?
But like here's my theory about Greeks. I went to the Greeks up in Muncie because my band was playing at the bar, which is
I need to
next
see
the
your
building.
band sometime. Tell me the next time you perform.
Should be January 17th. But it's like we gotta perform somewhere else in Muncie. We're not gonna grow our audience anywhere that way.
Yeah.
But we'll have more time later. Huh?
I'm probably working, but
Yeah,
I'll
it's
try.
It's a show that I'm not exactly like, oh, everyone needs to be there. We're headlining
I
the
really
Bluebird
wanted to come
or
to your one on the
on the
14th.
That was a good one.
I'm sorry.
But no, do not worry. There will be more show. I will always have shows. That is part of I will always have podcasts. I will have shows. No, always, they go hand in hand. It's
Always
like
have a gig somewhere.
promotional thing. So, anyway, I went to the Greeks connected to the bar. Bar's called Be Here now, and so I went in there and I'm like, it's a completely different layout. It's like it's so much different. It's so much smaller. It's just like but like you judge the potential service on like how it looks in there usually, and so with Greeks it's like we're just a pizza place, but connect to a bar, which is much more. There's a basement, there's a main floor, there's two different restaurants in one. There's like the big ass barn doors and an upstairs separate bar, bathrooms up there, pool tables and stuff.
I love the upstairs and nobody knows about it, and that's okay. That's okay with me because I take my friend we go up there and play pool, play on the darts game.
Great,
amazing time. You get food, go up there. And
for sure,
you have the best time.
Right, and so it's so massive like that, and so I feel like my theory is this: they come in there seeing how big and open canvas it is in there, and they're expecting something that we are not capable of. Where it's like, hey, we only have 2 servers, maximum usually, and there's about 40 people in here right now.
3 of us serving the other night because we were kind of training this new girl. She's so sweet. I really like her, but she was training. It was just like her first Saturday night.
Which
she'd only done like mornings and weekdays, which is not anything like a Friday or Saturday night.
No, mornings. Like even because
there's 3 of us. I had to step in. I was hosting. I had to step in serving.
Yeah, it's a job that I'm glad I had, because I look at the service industry much differently now. Same just how teaching was, where I was like, well, this is not for me. But I respect the hell out of everyone who else who does it, and I will at least have some skin in the game, and I can hold a conversation with my own personal experiences. But I'm gonna do something else, and so I'm glad I had the job. Taught me a lot of lessons.
Since starting serving, I've had so much more respect for servers.
For sure.
And just people working in the back.
I want,
especially at Chili's. Like you'll go into Chili's, there's a bunch of servers.
Yeah, I'm impressed a lot with Chili's, dude. Like it's it's Chili's is like it's fucking like it's not Michelin star food, but it's reliable. It's consistent.
It's good food, and I mean I always go when Alexa's working, but it's always good service. Like the people are very friendly.
Yeah, but they have a system there. But they're also a chain place where it's like so there's like a chain of command and like there's like corporate involved, which totally fine. But those chili servers, like there's a woman, there's like a redheaded lady at our Chili's. She's been working there since the dawn of time, when they were just a chili seed, just a little chili sapling where they became one big pepper. And she's absolutely she crushes it every time. I'm never worried about it. And so but that's just how she does stuff. She's just always been there. And
I'm waiting for that one day where I can actually order the martini of the month.
Ooh, hell yeah. Did I ever tell you my I always get the boneless wings there, which is we talked about practicing what you preach, but this is very much against my personal religion when it comes to wings.
Yeah.
So one of my little go-to jokes, which it was more of a circumstance kind of a thing. It didn't happen with every table, but anytime a grown man would order wings, there's several different versions of wings we get. It's like, hey, I want some wings. It's like, well, my first question is,
what fucking kind?
It's like, do you want them bone in or boneless? And so if they say bone in, I'm like, cool. And then I ask their other questions. But if they say boneless, I'm like, oh, do you mean chicken nuggets? He's like, oh yeah, I guess. And then I'm like, all right, would you like those chicken or beef? And then sometimes they'll be like, oh, that's funny because beef animal has no wings because it's just chicken. This is all funny because I ordered the child version of the food. Haha, funny guy. That's usually what I want their brain to do.
Yeah.
Sometimes their brain will shut down, factory reset, and I have to like just sit there and stare. Where I'm like, it's a joke. It's a prank, bro. It's a prank. It's fine.
Beef from cow.
Yeah.
Beef from cow.
So if the bedrock bullshit order of wings that it would be like, oh, I want wings. It's like, cool, wings are great. He's like, I want them boneless. I'm like, bad points. I want them plain. It's like, oh wow. I want them with ranch. It's like, good. Oh my god, who dressed you this morning? What the fuck? But if they get bone-in wings, spicy with blue cheese,
damn, they know what they're doing.
They've been to prison.
Makes me so. I hate it when people order wings at Greg's because almost every time I will ask them bone in or bone out. for this example, bone in. Ranch? Yeah. I go and I put it in. I get them 9 boneless spicy wings. Whatever. Bring it out. I did not want these bone in. Motherfucker. I asked you what you fucking wanted. And you said bone in. No, I said boneless.
Nope, you're a horny little bitch. You want the bone in, don't you? I'll show you a bone. Bone right in ya. Spicy too. No ranch. Dry.
Bend over.
Bend over. Well.
And I love going into restaurants and using. Do you know that I go into restaurants and I use an alias?
Dixie Normus?
Dixie, yeah. Everywhere.
One of my favorite things about you, because we went to Steak and Shake the other day, you were like,
milkshake for Dixie.
And then I didn't even know you did it, but then I was like, that's funny. It's because
I do that everywhere.
the only thing that I do consistently at restaurants is whenever I get takeout food, I will write Luke's Food on it with a fork and I'll carve it, but I'll spell it Luke's with apostrophe S.
Yeah.
And then I'll write FUDE because
Food
it is food, but it's mirroring the way my name is set up, and I just like the way it looks.
Oh.
And so the U's and the E's are lined up together, and so then you have the
Okay.
LKFD, which are all separate.
Okay.
And so I do
see
that
that.
all my food, yes, it's just a little thing I like to do.
It's very cool.
Dixie Normus it's funny as hell. It's a good.
I've been doing that for
Is
years.
that a good Kahoot name? Did you ever use it on Kahoot?
No, because usually I just do Kahoots at school, and it's like, use your real name. You can't use any blah blah. I just use Kadie. Because it's just like, I'm not gonna.
I have
you guys don't understand the lore.
I have a list of Kahoot names that I never get to use anymore because Kahoot is most certainly not.
Yeah, nobody
part of
uses
my life
Kahoots anymore.
I
I'm
know,
kind of
it-
thankful for it.
they all
Only
have-
Mr. McKinney,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have him anymore.
This is my list of Kahoot names that have lived, died.
Have I sent you Amelia's poems?
Oh my God, no. You're gonna be another guest on here eventually. We'll have plenty more to talk about again. But in order, all my names have there's a backstory to all of them. First one, Robert Paulson, Fight Club, Bob as Bitch Tits. Omar Vizquel, he is a man that I heard from a song called Taco Bell Saga, which is from that song's probably almost 20 years old now. It's the lead singer of the 21 Pilots, Tyler Joseph, was writing this song about Taco Bell Saga with all of his friends, and so he comes up in one of the verses. The next name, Nilknarf. Do you know the code there? That is my last name spelled backwards.
Oh.
Isn't that fun?
Yes.
One time I used it in 8th grade, and Mr. Trump, my math teacher at the time, was like, what is that? I'm like, my last name's spelled backwards. You can spell check it. He's like, it looks wrong. I'm like, that's why it's funny. It also sounds like a word.
My name backwards?
Then there's Ezekiel, which is like from the Bible chapter, Ezekiel 25:17 from Pulp Fiction. Then there's Simon Kipner, which is the full name of Skips from Regular Show. Guitar George. What?
We didn't get into
Muscle
my
Man.
impressions earlier.
Oh, we'll do impressions next time.
Okay.
Simon, but Guitar George is from The Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits. Kid Funky Fried is a guy that is named in the song Fire Water Burn by the Bloodhound Gang. And then last one is Handsome Harry Clay, another guy named in lyrics from a song called The Winner by Bobby Bear. So those all died when I graduated, but they still live in my phone to talk about them. Like that.
Edak.
Say it again.
Nostad Edak.
That sounds like a vampire's name.
Kadie Dodson backwards is Nostad. I guess it's Idak.
Don't say it a third time. Something's gonna happen.
I just appear.
Just start cloning yourself. All right, last question, then we gotta wrap it up.
There's another one.
The last question. This could push us to 3 hours. We're only at 2:18, but this question.
We're at 2:18.
2:18. Yeah.
That's understandable.
It's
I'm gonna watch this.
It's almost 9 p.m.
I'm gonna watch. That clock is not right.
I know, it's 5 minutes over.
Okay.
It's so I can set my alarms at different times. Anyway, is a hot dog a sandwich?
No, not a sandwich.
Is a hot dog a taco?
No.
All right.
I assume you disagree with me on that.
No, I want to use a Gen Z word, but I do have not trauma, but I have history
Okay.
with this question.
Yeah, Because I've debated this. Because I think I was debating with Jack a while ago about like crepes being like kind of like a quesadilla, or like a crepe being like a tortilla.
Crepe. Isn't that like a? I thought
It's like
that was.
it's a French like thin kind of pancakey.
Oh, so it is like a kind of a dessert kind of a thing.
Yes.
Okay.
You can put a lot of things in it,
Mm.
just like a tortilla. It can be a breakfast tortilla or a savory tortilla, just like you can have a breakfast crepe or a savory crepe.
So there's.
Just like bagels and flats and
like-
sharps and music.
It's like, oh wow, full circle.
I know.
Speaking of circles, we can make a Venn diagram out of this, since I've like
Ring.
the common. Oh my
Ring the bell.
god.
This is our overview.
Good lord. This is our what is there's like a terminology for musicals where it's like the this is the applause or the bows or something. I don't know. It's like where they recap all the hits while everyone's doing the bow. I think it is called the bows.
It's in the beginning like the overture, but this is like the end.
Right. It's the opposite of the overture.
What the fuck is that?
The epilogue?
No, I have to search that up. Keep talking about your hot dog trauma.
Okay. So I was driving to Indianapolis by myself. No, I was a sophomore in high school. Which was during COVID for me. It was terrible online school, and I was on a Zoom call with my my biology teacher, Mr. Worth, who was actually my camp counselor at Camp Allendale years ago. He was 16 when I was 11.
Wait.
Garrett Worth.
Go
Camp
back.
Camp Allendale?
I went to Camp Allendale.
Maybe we didn't meet in theater.
What the fuck?
I think I went 2014, 2015.
What grade were you in?
I was going into 5th and then going into 6th.
We were at Camp Allendale at the same time, Luke.
That's crazy. That's fucking wild. Well, one of the camp counselors for guys my age and in the boys group, his name was Garrett Worth, and he ended up being my biology teacher later on in life. And so we're on the Zoom call, and I think he like... Trying to get a screenshot of the word?
No, I'm trying to take a screenshot because I got a funny notification.
Oh. On the Zoom call, he brought up the...
epilogue, I guess, but that doesn't seem like it's an overture.
I don't know. Whatever.
Sorry.
We'll let it die. It's fine. But Garrett was talking about the properties of a hot dog. And I was like, dude, no. He was like, a hot dog is a sandwich. And then he took me to a website called the Cube Rule. So we met on a middle ground where I'm like, okay, you can live in your fairy tale land bullshit with your cube rule ideologies, but a hot dog is not a sandwich or a taco. It's its own entity. I know this because
I guess
when you go to the bread,
classify it as a sub.
well, when you go to the bread section, you go, oh, there's hamburger buns and then there's hot dog buns. There's specified bread cuts and shapes for the hot dog itself, and you can use brats or sausages, whatever. It's made that way. It's not even a taco is a tortilla it's like this, and then you fold it together to make the shape. It's flat at the beginning, but you fold it. So I don't think it makes it a taco because the hot dog bun itself, it comes out in this small little like a baguette kind of a thing, and you cut that in half, and you only cut it like halfway down. That way it opens up like a Pac-Man mouth on the side.
Like a Subway sandwich. That's why I'm thinking of it kind of as a sub.
Sure.
You add different people add different things to hot dogs, but like...
Where's the bread facing when you eat a Subway sandwich? One's facing to the floor, one's facing to the ceiling. When you eat a hot dog, they're facing sideways. It's a different approach, different bites.
Okay.
Now you can that's where the comparison to a taco comes from, but the anatomy of the taco shell, with it being flat and just folded and fried that way, that makes it geometrically wrong. And it's not a sandwich because a sandwich is two different pieces of bread.
Split completely,
and but there's a top bun and there's a bottom bun, right? It's not a sandwich.
Yeah.
A hot dog is its own thing. But when Mr. Garrett Worth from Camp Allendale, my biology teacher guy,
so fucking crazy.
when he, yeah, no kidding, when he brought up this cube rule thing, it brought in this property of three-dimensional figures. So you have one plane. It'll take one side of the cube, which is the floor. All right, it's like, I forget the example. It's been a while since I've gone on the website. But basically, it's like you build it up from there. So you have, it's like pancakes or like, not pizza, because pizza is technically a pie, I guess. But like you can build these, like if you were to have 6 different equally sized squares in your hand in the 3-dimensional world, you can put them together to make a cube, and so you piece them together as it goes, and so you start with one of these things. So one, and then you stack one on top, and you bring them together. So a hot dog was called a taco because a taco was it was like the name for one of these shapes. It didn't mean the food itself. They took the name of the food and put it as like a category for this shape. So there's a taco category where all these fit in under, and then the same thing for like a sandwich or a soup or some shit. So is cereal soup? It's in the same vein of the question. It was addressed in the website.
No.
It's not.
I don't like the idea of cereal being a soup because it's in milk, and a lot of soup is water based.
Right. Which you can add milk to cream it up and stuff, but
yeah, but you usually add like heavy cream, not just straight milk, because that makes it liquidier.
Mm-hmm.
When you want cream, you want it to be
right. You want cream,
thick.
Yeah, exactly. So, and I mean, in theory, you could do this, but it's not as common. You can eat cereal. Well, you can buy cereal pre-made, but a soup you have to assemble all these different, like the essence of the soup. Like the broth would be the milk,
yeah,
and then all the ingredients inside would be the cereal. You don't really buy like this is a soup mix. You put that in a crock pot and pour some water and some cream, whatever, into some spices. That's not how soup is really conducted. What?
I hate to tell you that.
But do they have that?
Yes.
But do they have a soup bar? They have cereal bars. I don't mean cereal buffets. I mean like a fucking like a granola bar.
Bars. If I could have a soup bar, I have chili at home.
Yeah, but like eat chili like a dry popsicle, like out of a wrapper. It's like I like
eating chili dry.
I love my Wendy's chili bar with an underside bedding of cheese. I love when the noodle dries out, and so I eat raw pasta with my chili bar. Nah, it has all these different things.
I love pasta.
And there's a cereal has its own aisle. There's soup.
Soup doesn't have its own aisle.
It's kind of wrapped in with canned goods.
Yeah.
And so cereal's taking on like its own thing.
It's making me hungry.
It is making me hungry as well. So we're gonna call it at 2.5 hours. 2:26.
We could have done
We could have done this shit all day.
2 episodes and you just post one later.
That's true, but that's cowardly. Because that eliminates the challenge of replicating this in the future, which we will have no problem doing. More shit will happen when we talk about more shit.
Absolutely.
So many things we didn't talk about already.
Mm-hmm. You need to get a Patreon started so we could get all the good stuff, like saved.
You know what?
That.
I might do ads in the future if I get the opportunity to do, but I want to. Patreon is a way for the people to, they make money off Patreon,
make a living.
But you should be able to make money off the ads as well. And I don't want. I feel like the main show suffers when you have Patreon. It's like, we'll save that for the Patreon.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want to make sure everyone has a fair share. I'm not a socialist or anything, but I do think the idea of the show is that I did it from my bedroom. Just started.
That actually is a very nice.
I hope it.
ASMR
I hope
episode.
it translates to the listener.
Should be.
Listen to it at work. Just take their fucking earbud out of their ear. Like, what the fuck was that? God damn, these people are annoying. I can't believe I wasted it.
No, they probably thought that after the second time I peeked to the microphone because of wheezing.
Yeah, that was when the sun was still out though.
It's still there.
Oh,
the Weezer in my phone case.
Oh my god, I forgot.
I've had that since freshman year. But
I gave you shit about that.
Yeah,
do you remember?
Because you were like, oh, you listen to Weezer. I'm like, oh, but not really though. It's more of like for the meme.
Yeah.
And then you
shot
me in the street.
I was a grown up. Name 3 songs, kid. That's I had that exact energy. I regret it. Because you should be able to allow
but that
to
actually
like
got
whatever
me to
you want.
really listen to them a bit more.
Yeah, I just love that album a lot. I just thought like you're robbing yourself of that album. It turned 30 years old last year.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
94 was a huge year. I think Dookie by Green Day came out that year.
Also the end of the 3rd gen Camaro.
Oh wow.
I went from 84 to 94.
We were talking about Camaros off air. So
somebody's calling me.
About time, dude. It might be your
motherfucker.
Put them on real quick.
No.
What, is he abusive? Is he gonna be like, bitch?
It's 9:01. He just got off work.
Oh.
Like just got
That's
off
getting
work.
off early but Jackson Rouser called. Her boyfriend called, and that's why we're bringing him up. But
It's just so after all these years, it's so weird. Like I was at a family function with Brooke, and they were like, "So you got a boyfriend?" I'm like,
you know him.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's true.
It's weird."
Well, he getting off at Taco Bell at 9 p.m. is like that's like the
Usually,
early
like-
shift. That's crazy because they're open until like 4.
I don't know, but he only goes until 9. But usually he goes like a couple minutes after. Sometimes I visit at work. I
haven't been to
stop through the
Taco Bell in a
drive-thru.
while.
I don't tell him though. Just like, hey, you work in the drive-thru? Yeah. Don't text him back. Show up.
That's nice. All right, we just crossed the 2-hour 30 mark.
All right.
Kate, it's been a lot of fun.
It has been. Thank you so much for having me
It blew
on.
by. It was maybe so. It was very nice to see you get giddy about it. Where I was like, "Hey, want to be on the pod?" You're like, "You said, I swear to God, verbatim." You go, "I would be honored."
Because when you put out that you were actually doing the podcast, I'm like, oh my gosh, because I remember months ago when I like started at Greeks, you were like, I want to start a podcast one day,
Look,
and I'm like, I would love to help with that. That'd be so awesome.
We can do a classic podcast. Look at us. Who would have thought? Not me. Love me some Paul Rudd and Sean Evans. Shout out Hot Ones. And then we'll end on this because this is something I almost forgot to mention, and I'm glad I remembered just right now. When I was a junior in high school, I was going through a weird phase where I started getting out of my shell a lot more, and there were these girls that I had classes with that were like, "Hey, you look like you can juggle," which I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if that is a compliment or not. But what it did do is it lit a fire under my ass.
It would be a compliment to me.
Well, and so I was like, well, I can't juggle. I can do like the 2-ball thing, which is not even close to juggling. Yeah. And so it lit a fire under my ass where I was like, I'm gonna learn. And so I thought about teaching myself how to do it. Didn't want. I just had 3 things. I just used it with like balls of socks. And so I was trying to get these girls' approval. All right. But what I discovered is I discovered a love for juggling. Mm-hmm. I do it routinely. And it's something that I learned, we'll call it 3 years ago now. It pretty much was. And it's something I keep in my back pocket. Yeah. The biggest things I probably juggled were I did cantaloupes at Walmart. I juggled basketballs a few times as well.
How did the cantaloupe thing go?
I was there off. I wasn't even supposed to work that day. And I ran to my then boss. Her name was Jade. And I was like, "Hey, Jade." And she was like, "Hi, Luke." And I was like, "Check this out.
Check out my Randy Savage."
You want to see me juggle Macho Man figurines? Just like, are you going to pay for them? No. But no, I was juggling cantaloupes and I nailed it. And it was great.
Good for you.
But then, the reason why I bring this up, you know why I'm bringing this up.
Yes, I do.
And there's several videos on my 2 different Instagram accounts of me actually, showing off my skills. But it was the last shift I worked at Greeks before I got a call back.
That was the last one we worked together.
I think so. It was the last one I worked before I knew I had my new job secured, where I was like, "Hey, you come in for an interview." I was like, "Cool, great."
Next time I saw you was when Alexa took me out for my birthday.
Oh my God, that's right.
Then that was your last shift.
Yeah, it's true. It was my last shift. That was a shitty shift too.
Yeah, you guys were really packed. I felt really bad. That's why I got all of our drinks and stuff, because I was like, I don't want to bother them.
Which we appreciate. What I appreciated most was when it was dead the night we were talking about. The last night we worked together. We were like, well, what are we going to do? And so I started climbing around to the back, and I discovered 3 equally sized salt shakers. And I was like, oh, hell yeah.
You got those out. I was like, oh, he's going to do the dumb bit where he's going to try and juggle them, and then it's going to fall on the floor and create a fucking mess. That's what I thought in my head.
Well, 2 things happened. Your wish pretty much came true, but little did Kadie know, I did know how to juggle. And when I started doing it, you were like, oh my God. Oh my God, you can actually do that. Holy shit. I didn't even know my brain needed this, but it was exactly the reaction I had been craving since I started juggling.
I'm glad I gave you that reaction, because it was genuinely like, you don't know a lot of people who can juggle, though. Like, it's not like a common thing.
Yeah. But I'm class clown. I got to know how to do that. And so it was, without a doubt, it's going to sound cliche, honk, honk, but it was one of the most proud moments of my juggling career. I was like, this is what it's all about.
Yeah.
Follow your dreams. Do it. Be a dream warrior. Juggle at work and then bust the fuck out of that salt shaker
In
off
a
the
pizza
ground.
suit.
I forgot about that part, yes. And I was wearing a pink beanie, which made my head look like a dickhead.
Mm-hmm.
I had a white face, brown beard, pink.
At least you
pink
cleaned
head.
up the salt, though.
I did.
was really thankful for that.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that you would just leave it, but I was like...
No, I did some lines.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah. All right, well, it's a 9:15, or I was just thinking about that.
Thank you, Luke, for having me on the podcast.
Thank you
and
for
I
being-
can't wait to come back.
Thank you for being such a fun guest. This is so fun. I've only had women on the podcast so far. I just realized.
Officially.
Mm-hmm.
Max is unofficial.
Yeah, because it was. I'm not going to post those. Those are more for my personal archives, more of a brother bonding kind of a thing. Plus, I probably can't get away with posting the shit we said. I don't remember what we said. I just don't want to re-listen to it and then be like, maybe not. But yeah, 155 and a half minutes with piss breaks. Sponsored by Dude Wipes, unofficially.
Did it stop the audio and you're gonna put it back, or
No, I
there's
just
mute?
No, I just stopped it and then I just put the dial thing back right after that, and it just started back. It'll be one continuous thing. It'll be one file. So
Okay.
all good. But yeah, this will be out on Spotify and YouTube within the week.
Get
Hopefully.
those notifications on.
Probably
if you had your notifications on, you know that Luke posted the Mama podcast early.
I did. It's on YouTube. It'll be on Spotify in about 9 hours. So anyway, can't thank you enough. This is what it's all about. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. All right, well.
Thanks for the butter socks too.
Oh yeah, I gave Kadie it wasn't a sock full of butter. It wasn't a Sam from iCarly kind of a thing. It was.
Have you read her book? Okay, we can talk about this off air.
Ooh, we should. We can start a book club segue, or a stem from the main podcast. And I thought about doing movie reviews or doing commentaries over movies.
Yes.
So where you can watch a movie and listen to the podcast at the same time.
Yes. Is that a legal thing though?
Well, I wouldn't. It would be more just we watch the movie probably on mute and we just talk about it. That way you can watch the movie on your own. Okay. It's just how commentaries
I
work
like that
on a
idea.
DVD.
I would really like that idea
That'd be
because
fun.
I like to talk.
Yeah, we can do it to Beau's Afraid or something.
I haven't seen that movie. Because you and Alexa and them saw it, and I was still 15.
Holy shit! Was it that?
Wait, not 15.
No, you had been 16.
Yeah, because you have to be 17 to see those kind of movies. So I was 16. You guys were all 18 or 17. Or was it I 17 and you guys were 18?
I was 18. It was my senior year.
Yeah, then.
You just turned 18.
No, I just turned 18 a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But being young gets old. That's wise. I stole it from an all-time low lyric. Shout out all-time low. All right. We'll see you guys next time. Thank you for tuning in. If you made it this far, I really appreciate it. Bye, Kadie.
Bye, Luke.